Welcome back to the Necrosis Show, or, eventually we're gonna sit there and rename this podcast to something else. But at the current moment, I think I'm just gonna go with Necrosis Show. That's what little infographic had. The little graphic thing that Leshy had made when I did the podcast with Sierra and Eric. So, yeah, we're just gonna go by that for now. Anyway, I wanted to give you guys a little update on the podcast. I will be sitting there and trying to fix all of the backlog stuff that I have. A lot of it was lost. Long story short, I had a hard drive kind of sit there and corrupt itself. Don't know why it happened. Currently trying to sit there and help, or have someone help me figure it out, but I was able to recover some pieces. And it looks like everything else might be lost, and I don't know. I don't even really know how to feel about it, other than just being pretty sad, you know? Other than that, yeah, podcast will be starting back up again at some point in the near future, but until then, I'm gonna be sitting there and releasing the backlog stuff, from time to time, at least maybe once every week, hopefully. Other than that, I wanted to give you guys a quick little introduction. In the current episode that you will be listening to, I am interviewing and kind of just messing around mostly with YoonaVT, formerly known as Onesie Yuna, if I ever do them as that. But anyway, they're a super cool person. You want to sit there and follow them on, I believe, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. They're an amazingly cool person that you can sit there and talk to, and honestly, you'd probably never be not entertained in any of their streams, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to sit there and add that in, because, as you'll see in the podcast, we kind of just jump right in. There is no, like, hey, this is YoonaVT, or this is Yuna, this is my friend Yuna. There's a good portion of the beginning that I sat there and kind of cut out, because my lighting was horrible and I could not fix it. So a lot of that stuff was missed. But regardless, enjoy the episode. We're sitting here talking about, trigger warning, we're sitting here and talking about a lot of, like, murder cases. Well, technically only 2 in particular. And we do go over some of that detail, but other than that, it's really not a murder podcast. Or just kind of shooting the shit, you know? Alright, anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Well, bye. But when I wrote this set list of questions, you were having, like, a very significant rise in what's it called, in popularity. Because this is before you kind of started, like, rolling it back on the streaming again. But
Yeah.
you were streaming more consistently at that time. And this is one of the questions that I, like, wanted to ask you. Like, do you feel uneasy? Like, did it make you feel uneasy? Because before that, I mean, things weren't slow for you, but you were still averaging like 20, and then you doubled it, almost even tripled it after, what's it called? I believe it was after meeting, Zen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Ooh, that time. Yeah, I remember. It was like a short-lived, I guess. Um, it started with like me streaming one day. I was doing
Mm,
Minecraft, and then Zentreya came to my chat, and I was like, "Why the fuck are you here?" You know what I mean? Like, you're a
mm,
popular streamer. What the fuck are you doing? And then Zentreya followed, gifted subs, and disappeared right out of
mm.
nowhere. And I was like, okay. And I was preparing that time for my 1 year anniversary stream.
Yeah, I
So
recall.
something in my heart told me, let me just. I don't post my going live ever, except for my server, right?
Mm-hmm.
So something told me, let me just post it everywhere. in this world, like just everything. And I did that, and I posted it like regularly to other like servers, and I started my stream. And out of nowhere, I got a huge raid from Zentrea, offline raid, mind you, like around 600 people. I was like, what? And then one of Zentrea's friends, Iron Mouse, also raided me like a few hours later, and the whole chat just became like overwhelming with so many viewers. That was very uneasy for me because I have social anxiety and I was so scared. And most things, you know, like the negativity speaks louder. And when you hear about like out of nowhere raids, you think about negativity, right? A lot of people like spamming bad words.
Yeah.
So they were really nice to me. I enjoyed it. And then a few days later, Zentrea was streaming and raided me with an online raid. And I was like, oh my goodness. So people obviously like kept coming back to see what's going on, right? But that time, I was not fucked yet by Twitch. Because they announced the DMCA and I was doing music streams.
Yep.
God damn it. It held me off. The people came in to have fun and nostalgia and music and dancing, and then I couldn't do it anymore. And also they came for VR chat, a lot of them, because one of my friends rated me with like 1,500 viewers, but then it was from VR chat. And I was doing VR chat daily.
Lolathon, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my views were like averaging 70, 75 when I was doing VR chat, but I burned out from that game. And I just chose my mental health. I wanted to play games. I don't want to do something and just like speak all day, you know, like.
Yeah.
I'm not that interesting. I just stay at home every single day and sleep half a day. What am I about to talk? Like, what can I talk about every single day? You know, like you run out of topic, and that's what happened to me. And then I changed to games, like this, you know, VTubing style. So my avatar has no life to it. Like I was in VR chat, like my movement and full body, and my viewers dropped down a little bit. Like I went back to where I started from, but I'm still happy.
I mean, you're still, even now, you're still doing better than, like, before, I would think. Because, like,
yes, true.
Because you would have, like, from what I seen, sorry, like, I didn't actually look at your stats or anything, but, like, just, off memory.
I mean, you're OG.
I mean, I've been there, but, like, I'm not
yeah.
OG. But,
you've been there, like, from when I was, like, averaging at 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then, this was pre-Zentrea, but you started hitting like the 10s and 15s like fairly consistently. After even before that, you'd be hitting like 17, 18, 19, and 20. And then the Zentrea thing happened, and that's when I was like, holy fuck. I got home and I was like, I wonder who's online. Maybe I mean, one of the things that I ask myself is who's online right now. I'm thinking like Van, or like just people that I like watching. You, Van, a couple other people, and I boot up my computer and I see who's online, and you have like 300 viewers. I was like, what the fuck happened?
I know.
And I popped in and everyone was just spamming fucking the little jumping rainbow blob everywhere and the music stuff, and I was like, man, this is cool.
I wish I could do music streams. I was so happy, like listening to old nostalgic music, sharing other people's favorite songs and stuff. Twitch, why you do this to me, man?
I mean, you can still do it to an extent, but like, I understand it. It's that like that looming fear of like getting fucking struck down for it.
Yeah.
I understand it.
It's so sad. Like, I've been spending all my time, like 15 months now. I don't want to lose it, you know? But I am averaging 20, like, not even average. It became my base, and that makes me happy, you know? Like, at least 20 people want to watch me all the time. And I did not have that, you're right. Like, my peak used to be 20 before Zentrea, but I was hitting 20 sometimes. But now it's like my average, because a lot of people that I met from these communities stayed around and kept coming back.
Yeah, I see a lot of them random. I mean, I can't. There's only one person that I can think of specifically But I don't know if that was pre-Zentreya or after Zentreya. Jess over.
Yeah, Jess is from Zentra.
Okay. I know I know them because randomly, just like I'll see like either at the end of a stream or something like that, I'll see like just look at who's like actually in the chat and like, just see who popped in or if anything. And like I just randomly see Jess. I was like, wait, no, that's from Yuna. But Yuna and Zen, that was around the time when that happened. I was like, what the hell's Jess doing here? I'm not a VTuber.
Yeah. Jess is very nice. He watches every single person.
Mm.
um, and also like at that time, Zentreya also grew super hard. I remember like when Zentreya came to my chat, they were averaging like 500
Mm-hmm.
ish. And at that time, I think it's the Corona effect too. Like that's how I think,
Oh,
because a
yeah.
lot of people were following me daily too. And when I was doing VR chat,
Mm-hmm.
and Zentreya also went to 3,000 viewers. I was like, what the fuck? I just went to her chat and it was like I couldn't even chat anymore because it was just like flying
Yeah.
every time I write a message. And after the Corona settled down, then everyone went to kind of like averaging to the maybe like lower, like 50% lower now.
Yeah, yeah. Once things start opening up, like it's gonna drop off to an extent. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
good to have people that come back, even if it's just like randomly.
Mhm.
But
Especially now, like everyone's busy. Everyone's back to school. Everybody's, and they still find time to come back. It's
mhm,
like amazing. Yeah.
true. Funny enough, that's not my first interaction with the Zentreya. I think you're the first person that I found Zentreya through. But that was when Zen was still averaging like 200 to 300. And
Mhm.
she was playing like Halo. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that, but
Yeah, I remember.
yeah.
It was also recently, like the world is
Mhm.
like rapidly changing. I'm happy actually to see that success. Also, Lolathon. When I started watching Lolathon, he was like peaking at 30 viewers. Now he's at 3,000 viewers. It's
Mhm.
like something to admire. Like on YouTube, he has almost 1 million. It's like, wow,
Hell yeah.
people grow fast.
I I haven't seen as much of Lolathon recently, but like back when you were, I mean, you weren't specifically introducing me to him, but you were introducing chat to Lolathon. I was checking out a lot of the things that he was doing, and I was like, how have I not really heard of this dude? But at the same time, like,
Time
you
zones.
time zones, like, everything else, I was like, dude, there's no fucking way I would have ever heard of this dude. Because, like, even even recently, like, okay, I don't know if this is shocking to you, but I watched my first Smosh video the other night.
Ooh.
You know who Smosh is? Or
Mhm.
who they were?
Anthony and the other guy.
So they've been around for a very, very, very long time. And I
Yeah.
only just now in 2020, basically almost 14 years later, watched their first video. I didn't even know who they were. Like, I've heard of them, but
Even after they actually like disbanded or whatever the word is, like they
yeah,
don't even do it. Wow.
yeah. Like, I think, I forgot how this came up in conversation, but I think we were talking about one of the dudes, Anthony Padilla, if I'm not mistaken, something like that.
Mhm.
So we were talking about them. They're like, "How do you not know this person? Do you remember Smosh?" I was like, "I mean, I know
Smash
of,
who?
yeah, I know of the name, but I just didn't know them. I don't know what they make or do."
Yeah. Oh geez. But they were not for everyone. They were like the crazy type, right? Like they were the gamers who were like jumping around and like they were at the time of like then I used to watch Ray William Johnson. Do you remember
Oh
that guy?
yes, I remember him. Fucking equals three. Hell yeah.
Equals three. Yeah. Oh my
Mm.
god. He's back now, by the way. He's on TikTok. Did you see him?
No, he's never been gone, Yuna.
Really?
He's always been making, okay. So after equals three, if I'm not mistaken, he stopped the equals three channel. He had someone else kind of like host it for a good while, but it just never really took off. And
Yeah.
you can't even now, you can't even really look at the videos because they were still cranking out videos, but eventually they deleted a lot of them or just unlisted them. And
Mm.
he went on to do like some history channel thing. I don't know why he was hosting it, but he went and like co-created a different channel with someone else. And he was doing a couple of things like in between. And now he's doing like self-help videos, if I'm not mistaken, on his equals 3
Uh,
channel. But he's also on
I
TikTok.
maybe then not that as big as equals three, I guess. Yeah,
Hmm.
because I remember him with Anna Akana. Was that her name actually? His girlfriend.
I think that's what her name was.
Yeah, I remember him like appearing in her videos, and they broke up, and he disappeared completely from my sight. You
Hmm.
know, and I was like, oh, he was really good. Why did he leave?
Hmm.
It was fun.
And then
I
they
wish I
broke
can
up.
watch them again.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's like the Pewds Marzia, but before PewDiePie and Marzia.
Exactly.
It could have been a
And
thing.
at least Anna was really funny.
Hmm. I
I
agree.
hope I don't get canceled for that.
Nah. Nah.
I mean, Matsuya was just cute, you know? Like, it was like, oh, I have cute shorts, and I bought this kawaii stuff, and I never, like, was into that, but Anna kind of was, like, making skits and funny stuff.
Hmm. I
And I
mean,
used to laugh at her.
uh, fucking the weird thing about like I like Anna's content more, but the thing about Marzia is like for me, for whatever reason, like I knew PewDiePie had a girlfriend, but I didn't know his girlfriend also did like a YouTube channel. And I checked it out one day, and this is around the time when I would usually be drinking a lot more. So I was just like, casually at home after work. I was just drinking and like watching random YouTube videos. And that's what it was. Like literally it was just her excited to show you all of these like things that she bought and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, I was just kind of like I
Mm.
don't like this, but at the same time I can't click away. She's just too excited to show me this stuff, and I'm just like, at parties, like small family get-togethers, I'm the drunk uncle on the couch, and like my nephew's coming up, going, look what we're doing, look what we're playing with," and I'm just kind of like, "Oh, that's cool, that's nice."
Yeah.
That's what I felt
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I mean, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm glad you're excited about this. Maybe
Yeah,
not
these
drunk uncle.
unboxing videos have magic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never also like was able like what do they say, like, oh, IKEA haul, or what did I buy for makeup, or what did I get from this place? And the
Mm-hmm.
mystery boxes. Do you remember those
Oh
videos?
my
Oh my
god. Like, they were really cool at the beginning, but then everyone started doing it with
And faking
everything
it.
and faking it. Like,
Mhm.
that's what I didn't like. Like, I'll still
Me too.
I don't know if you know of him, but fucking Critical, Moist Critical. Like, whenever he does his like
No.
Yu-Gi-Oh card unboxings live on stream, I really enjoy those because literally it's him buying like boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like unpackaging them all to see if he gets like rare cards. And I don't know why. I just enjoy the thrill of it. He spent like $1,000 on them. And like if he
Mm.
loses money, I think it'd be funny because he's like, no, I spent $1,000. But if he makes
Oh
money,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
like, dude, he's making money.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's like something you won't do, but you want to see, kind of
Mm,
thing. You will not buy them and spend money, but you want to see what will be in the box if you did, kind of thing.
exactly.
But do you remember the deep web mystery box? I hate. That's when I quit watching the deep web. I
Oh
got
my
this from the deep
god,
web. I bought that.
yeah.
Oh fuck, a knife with blood. It's like so fake.
It's so bad. Like
Yeah, I
what is
stopped
this box?
watching.
It smells kind of weird. I just don't
And
understand
they
what this
just
is. Oh, it's a
they just boxed it.
yeah, they boxed it. And it's like literally just like a sponge that was like moldy maybe.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh my god, there's a needle in this. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Or they get like a goat head that is like bleeding, right?
mhm.
For on the mail. Like, who will do that? Like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, no. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
They ruined everything with the fakeness. I hate it.
Yeah, I don't enjoy things like that cuz it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of boring at that point. Because you,
Mm-hmm.
no, like you said, you can tell. You can tell when people are like overly excited and they're like, "Oh, what a mystery! Oh my god, I can't believe this happened!" And like they'll use like a clickbaity thumbnail and a clickbaity fucking title
Yeah.
too, and it's like I don't know. It's just clearly obvious. Like I know it works. Like obviously clickbait
It works.
works, but it's I don't know. I don't
It's
like it.
cringe. It works on like super young people, but then they grow older. They grow fast, you know?
Mm.
And then you have no audience. But then people pop up kids every single day, so you will still have audience later on too. I don't. But it's not that meaningful, in my opinion. It's just like they watch and consume and leave. You know
You know, I have a dark joke. I have a dark humor joke, and I want to ask for your permission to tell this.
I'm scared.
It's related to the podcast. Are you okay with it?
Okay.
You may or may not laugh, and you may or may not feel bad for laughing at it, but we'll see. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, one would say that Jeffrey Dahmer is the originator of unboxing videos.
Oh my.
Okay, those too dark. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, 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 no! Don't put that. Don't do that. Don't put that
Maybe
idea in
those
my
that
head.
was a little bit too dark.
Don't put that in my head. No, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to envision it. I'm very, very, very visualize. Like I visualize things in my head.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't
I'll
want to
stop.
go there.
I'll stop.
I closed that door so fast. It's like, no.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Dahmer traumatized me so much. By the way.
What, Dahmer?
Yeah.
I
Ugh.
You know, I don't even know what to like okay, so like I said, or I don't for everyone else. Also, real quick, uh we've been talking and I didn't even introduce you. I am so sorry, Yuna. Like I literally forgot to have you introduce yourself. Um
I mean, I was kind of happy because I hate talking about myself and I don't know what to say.
okay.
So I was
We'll
like, ooh, he forgot.
we'll do it at the end, and we can
Okay.
edit it in there at some point. But
Yeah, I'm very awkward.
that's fine. So am I, to an extent. But fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, okay,
It was
wait, yeah,
about
the
yeah,
Jeffrey Dahmer
yeah.
thing. So to prepare for this podcast, like I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about like serial killers and like killers that may or may not be guilty, and a couple of those were the fucking Golden State Killer and the Jeffrey Dahmer ones. There's another one where uh I mean he's convicted and he's like, in jail, but there's a lot of people that don't believe, like he had like a mistrial and like they just don't believe that there was enough evidence to actually send him to jail for the crime that was committed. But the Jeffrey
Oh,
Dahmer ones, I can tell you right now, those are some of the ones that were just disturbing in the sense that like for the most part, he had a fairly normal upbringing.
mm-hmm.
He
Exactly.
I mean, you know this, like he was brought up like fairly normal. Like he was a happy child to an extent,
Spoiled kid.
and
Yeah.
like a spoiled kid. And he was an only child for a good while until in the later years they had his brother, I think.
And he had to name him himself, he said.
Yeah, he was the one that gave his brother the name. I believe it was David, if I'm not mistaken.
I
Um,
would change my name if I was him.
I I've been thinking about a lot of that, especially with the Golden State Killer things,
Oh, that
because
one pissed me off.
like
Yeah.
the thing is for me, I mean, and I don't want to bring any attention to him specifically, but I don't. There's literally only one person that, maybe two people that actually listen to the podcast from my area, so it wouldn't really be a big deal. I know someone with that last name because his the Golden State Killer's real name is Joseph D'Angelo. And for the
Mm-hmm.
longest time, I couldn't understand why one of my friends changed his last name. His last name was D'Angelo. But he randomly changed it, and I connected the dots. He randomly changed it around that same time when the Golden State Killer was caught. But I
So in 2018-ish, around that time.
roughly, yes. And I
Oh.
never understood why. I didn't
Do
really
you
want
guys
to
live
ask
in
him.
the same place, same state? I don't even know.
Yeah, in the same area, pretty much.
What the fuck?
Yeah, okay. I mean, not exactly in the same area, but the thing is that I'm not gonna say exactly what city I live in,
I
but
mean, I know.
I'm just gonna say that I live in San Francisco. And the Golden State Killer fucking, rapes and murders and robberies, like they all happened in the surrounding areas. Well, with the
Wow.
exception of I think Santa Barbara where he had to travel. But still, like, they were Sacramento. I know where Sacramento is. I know where Rancho Cordova is. I know where Walnut Creek is. That's super close. Like, and I know a lot of these places. Um,
Oh,
and I've been there before. And even like we didn't really even prepare for this one, but like I've been to some of the locations where the Zodiac killings were fucking happening.
bruh. I would be scared to live where you live. I
Like
don't know why.
me and a friend, we were hanging out in I think yeah, it was over in Vallejo, and we randomly pulled into this parking lot like around evening, like evening time, sun setting, and we were talking there for a while, and I was just kind of like what do we come out here for? Like I know it's a really nice place. He was like, "Oh, I just wanted to let you know that like you know where we are." I was like, "Oh, like this is basically the first place where one of the Zodiac killings happened." And I really looked
Mm.
around and examined it because for whatever reason, like I knew of the place and I knew where the Zodiac killing was, but I just couldn't put two and two together. I didn't realize that that's where he took me. And like as I started like connecting the dots and putting the pictures together, I was like, dude, that's fucking creepy.
Yeah,
Holy
I know.
shit. And I don't know. I've always wanted to like go back and like revisit those places, especially for this podcast. I didn't have much prep time. If this podcast was going to be like a month out, I would have like gone out and actually, I mean, I think I still could do it. Go out and like visit some of the places where the Zodiac killings happened, but
Yeah, oh
the,
my god, that would be so creepy. Take pictures, I want to see them.
I'll
Ugh.
try to take video and pictures if I can. Um but yeah, no, you can stand on the street where I believe where the Zodiac shot and killed one of the taxi drivers. You can like stand on the street. You can stand on the corner where he was pulled over by the police
Mm.
before they let him go, and he walked into I think it was Golden State Park, and he disappeared after that night.
And that was the last time and the last chance they had.
Pretty much, that was the first time they'd gotten that close to him, but they didn't know it was him. And
That
like a lot of people, a lot of people blame misinformation and low key racism as to why they didn't actually catch him.
mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, do you know about that?
I honestly did not like how do you say that? Dive in too much into the Zodiac Killer because even though it's high profile,
Mm-hmm.
it's not horrific as some of the other killers are.
Mm-mm. He's just very
It's
elusive.
it's just the one that was like he was like kind of taunting the government and like playing a game with them in that sense, but he's not like the most like gruesome killer. And the ones that like stuck to my mind are the horrible ones: the Golden State Killer, Jeffrey Dahmer, Rodney Alcala, uh, the Hill, the two guys that were having a van and killing girls in the I forgot the name of the no the co-ed killer was also one that actually stuck to my mind. Like it was so emotional, weird for me. But the guys I'm talking about is like two guys who met in prison, and after that they started like kidnapping and killing girls and recording them. Do you know the name of it?
I don't recall. There's
Mm.
there's a lot of fucking serial killers, and even oh god, even like during the Golden State Killer, like his peak, a part of the reason that like some of the cops had a hard time connecting like the killings to that specific killer is because there was a bunch of people killing and like robbing around that same time. Like even when you think about people like the Night Stalker,
Oh yeah.
like even the Golden State Killer, he has the same title, not the same title, but like people call him the original Night Stalker
Yes.
because there was a series of killings and like abductions. Well, one from the Golden State Killer and two from the Night Stalker, which basically kind of killed and broke into people's houses in a similar way.
Yeah. Which one do you think is worse, actually?
Where
How they
like,
treated people?
I mean, I like as far as the Night Stalker or like or all the killers that I know of. Like between the Golden State Killer and the Night Stalker or everyone.
No, but these two.
I mean,
Which one was the worst?
I personally I just hate them both on this on a very very similar level
Mm-hmm.
because their main thing was like breaking into homes and raping women and then maybe killing them. Like I
Yeah.
there's one thing like okay, there's a big difference between like if I were to sit down and have a conversation with someone that killed someone and then there's an even higher level. I don't think they're better. I think they're worse. I guess maybe a lower level. I think they're worse is people that rape and kill and like that's like very very it's lower on the spectrum, not spectrum, but like I think you have to be a shittier human to do. So
I
they're
mean, they.
very
Yeah, but the most horrific killers do both all the time.
yeah.
Because, like, mostly they kill for sex. Like, the sex,
Hmm.
relief, something. I also found the killers I was telling you about. They're, like, the toolbox killers.
Okay.
These also stuck to my mind. Because how can you, like, meet someone and be like, oh, you like killing? I like it too. Let's go together. It's like, some things I can't even explain in my mind that then they will stick to me. So Zodiac Killer was like a guy with a gun, most of the
Yeah, it
like
was the Zodiac
happens a
Killer.
lot.
I wouldn't. If you told me you were the Zodiac, Yuna, I'd be like, that's crazy. You killed people. If you told me you were like the Night Stalker, I would have a very serious problem.
You will hang up, unblock.
Probably, I would most likely hang up and block you. But at the same time, I would want to keep talking to you in order to turn you into the fucking police at that point. Like,
You will secretly call, huh? It will be like,
for
while
me,
talking.
like, the way that I see things, like, the lowest of the low people for me are, like, child murderers and I mean, the lowest of the low is child molesters.
Mm,
But then like it's child murderers and then like it's rapists and murderers. Like if you're
mm,
in that same like block, you're very like you're still in the same category of like the lowest of the low. But for me, it's like when it comes with anything to do with like children, I'm like, no, if you hurt a child, there is
yeah.
a very good chance that I will kill you.
Mm.
So, yeah.
I see. For me, also, their position in society,
Hmm.
is another factor that plays into it. Like, for example, Golden State Killer
Mm,
pissed me off because he was a policeman.
yeah.
He's the guy that you will run to want to protect you, and he does that to you is like even extra evil seed. Like like I will burn him. Like I hate that kind of thing because who do you trust now? Who do you go to? Who do you call? It's the police. He knows everything, and he escaped and lived his life for 40 years freely, and he should not. He does not deserve that. Horrible.
There's yeah, no, he shouldn't. And there's a part of me that thinks, and I don't want to believe this, but at the same time, it's not a fucking coincidence that, well, at least here in America, police officers tend to protect each other a lot, even though
Yes.
the police officers are in the wrong. And for
Mm.
whatever reason, I don't like. I was listening to the Man in the Window podcast, and at the end, in the extra bonus episodes, they were talking about how there was very little male, like there were a lot of male victims when it came to the Golden State Killer, but when it came to the ones that like they all matter, but a lot of them just wanted nothing to do with it. But the ones that were very outspoken and wanted to be a part of the trial, they weren't. They were basically almost not even allowed in. They weren't even like on the list of charges of, things against the Golden State Killer. And one of the people that was bringing up a really good point was that this guy, I mean, he obviously he was bound and gagged, and his girlfriend was raped and everything. But his point was like he wanted to make a very solid case that the Golden State Killer was most likely on duty that night.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like the police, they're not putting that in the report because it's going to make them look extremely bad. And at the same time, it's like I'm starting to think, listening
Polit-
and what's up.
it's politics.
Well, yeah, it's politics, and I'm starting to think that maybe some of these departments knew of the person. Maybe
Yeah,
they
I think so too.
maybe they didn't know he was the actual Golden State Killer, but they knew he was a very, very corrupted individual at that point. Because when you look
Mm-hmm.
at all of the information behind the killings and like the departments trying to work together, a lot of the departments just would say no. They'd be like, "No, we take care of our own." But if there's a rampant rapist and killer on the loose, like you'd wanna you'd want to work together to
Help
get
each
this.
other. Yeah,
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 so it's very
yeah.
odd that only a select area, especially areas where they didn't want to cooperate, where the Golden State Killer was on duty. It's baffling to me that they wouldn't want to work together. And
Me
that's
too.
I'm thinking it's because they somewhat knew.
I feel that too. Like how can you put like your even if they have problems, right? Like the two police departments, or like nothing can work, or like political problems. What is more important to you, human lives or bullshit? Like
Hmm.
even if they look bad, there are like many cops that can catch him and put him in prison, and they still like get their reputation back and not like have lives lost because he was traumatizing everyone. He was
Hmm.
really good
Yeah.
at getting inside houses because he knew he was not afraid of anything. And it's like sometimes my brain also goes somewhere else. Sadly, like I'll be like, what if he was black or something else? Like,
Hmm.
would they actually catch him sooner? Um, was it because he was a cop? Was it because of his I don't know, like friendships he made in the police department? It's just I don't know. Like that case would have been solved easily if they cooperated and worked together than they did now. And I'm glad the detectives did not like let it die even 40 years later.
Hmm.
I'm happy.
Especially with the amount of crowdsourced work that they did. I'm happy that they didn't give up. And
Yeah.
like and technically it's not even like concluded because I think he's still set to be on trial.
Yikes.
Yeah. And he's still around. And it's weird because like whenever they bring him, I think the first couple of times when they brought him into the courthouse, like a lot of people's worry is that like, oh, he's going to die before before he actually gets sentenced and stuff like that, or like he's trying to look like a very frail old man
Yeah,
because he's
why? He
old.
was riding a fucking motorcycle a day before. Like, how are you acting like, huh?
It
Like,
He's just playing a character at that point. He's trying to like seem like he's super old and like weak and frail. But then like you
Oof,
cut to
yeah,
videos of him in his cell and he's doing like fucking pull-ups in his cell and I'm like, "Dude, no, this guy's very active. This guy's a fucking psycho." There's absolute
exactly.
like no, you guys can't believe this dude.
Don't fall into that. Like, ugh. And
Yeah.
also something about me, like in my heart, I feel like once they say like there's a saying, once a cheater is always a cheater, right?
Mhm.
Once a killer can always be a killer too. So how many crimes did he commit in the other 40 years he was a free man? Nobody knows.
He could have done a lot of stuff. And there was
Yeah.
even that thing where in the part of the podcast they were talking about when obviously this is when like a lot of the killings started dying down and like he wasn't as active, but he was just like a neighbor to some people and their dog just like magically started getting sick and they had to put it down. But like he had so like there was so much trouble between his neighbors and him and that dog that they're
Yeah.
convinced that he killed their dog. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was just walking around killing other people's dogs too.
Why not? He killed humans, like full grown humans.
Hmm.
Animals it's not even a thing to him morally, you know?
No,
And
but
also the person you were talking about, like that changed their name, I'm like, is he like a immediate family member maybe? Is it like a cousin?
maybe a cousin.
Nephew?
Cousin if I had to think about it. Cuz like uh no, I don't even want to like really talk that much about him.
I
Like
mean, I
there's
understand it's their
yeah.
life, but it's horrible to know that your relative is horrible like that, notorious killer, and
Mm.
everyone will associate you with that and ask you questions. It's really traumatizing.
Yeah, even when it comes to like the like his girlfriend, supposedly like what started it all, like that's what people refer to his like girlfriend as, like, oh, you're that Bonnie, you're the reason he started like going and killing people. But like
Oh,
that's
come on.
very unfair because it's like, no, she's not the reason. Like maybe he thinks that she's the reason, but like it's not fair to put that blame on her. She did nothing wrong. She just wanted
She
to
did
not
not
be
kill
with him.
anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the
That's
one
so stupid.
he's the one dressing like a fucking psychopath and like running around with like breaking into people's houses with like a white ski mask and only a t-shirt with his fucking dick hanging out. Like no, like
With
he's
his
the
tiny ass
psychopath.
micro dick, by the way. They were
Yeah.
saying like he's so insecure about it that he killed people just because of that. If they talked about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing is, don't blame other. Like, we like to normalize things
Mm.
to make it make sense. Oh, if he did it because of a girlfriend, she rejected him, it's her fault. It's easier than understanding that the human mind is just capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Same with what's his name? Ted Bundy. They also, did you see the disgusting romance novel movie Netflix made? Like, it made it about like a love story and that he was in love with this girl, and that's why he was killing other girls that look like her. So she's to blame. It's like, no,
I mean that
no,
that was just something personal to him. He just wanted to kill people that looked like his girlfriend, but like his girlfriend has nothing to do with it.
no.
Like at the same time, like I just don't like it when they make it seem like, oh, his girlfriend's the reason. Like no, like that's just pretty much what he preferred at that point. It's like when it's a very very long stretch, but it's like when you come to preferences on like people who you date and stuff like that. You just you prefer some people over others, and that's just a thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And
In
if someone falls into that, does that mean it's their fault that
no,
they didn't end up with you, so you kill people? It's like, oh, if she didn't break up with him, he would have not killed anyone. How do you know? Do you have a proof?
no, you can't make that assumption. I
I
mean,
know.
I don't know. Or maybe okay, maybe you can make that assumption. Maybe she is the reason, but she's not the person you need to blame at all. Like the blame does not go on her, and it
Yeah,
shouldn't.
they did nothing wrong.
Yeah,
They did nothing wrong. They are victims themselves.
they are. But I don't know. Netflix is in like the fucking twilight zone. Everything in America at the moment is in the fucking twilight zone. Like I
Exactly.
I just don't understand it. Like
They made him like, if you did not watch it, they made
mm,
him like this cute guy thing, you know? Like, it's like, oh, he just had like a love story. Like every like few scenes is like him thinking about her or calling her. It was all about her and not how gruesome his crimes were. Like they made him. That's why people idolize killers. I guess they don't have half the information and babysitting them into not seeing all the crimes. You know, like what he did to these women. He was a necrophiliac. It was never mentioned in the movie. He was visiting graves and wherever where he kills them and does these things to them. He was a manipulator, and they made it like as this genius, beautiful man who girls fell in love with him. No, I was disgusted by the whole movie. I do not recommend it, and it's an insult to every single victim he killed.
I
It's
mean,
not about love.
Netflix is on a whole nother level. They're basically fucking releasing like legal fucking child pornography right now.
Yikes! I boycotted them for that reason. I don't want to watch any Netflix anymore because of the cuties. Was that the
It's
name?
cuties.
Yikes! Ugh.
And a lot of YouTubers. I don't know if you've seen any of the YouTubers' reactions, but a lot of sane YouTubers like tried to watch that movie. A lot of them turned it off. They were trying to give it the benefit of the doubt and watch it, and like just be like, you know, maybe it's just Netflix just like over sexualizing like an actual innocent movie. No, like that movie is disturbingly fucking uncomfortable. I didn't watch it. All I had to fucking do was like listen to the testimonies of these people, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, not for me, bro. No, thank
Yeah.
you.
What the fuck?
Except for that one
What
YouTuber.
do you want to tell us about it? What do you want to tell us about that whole movie? What's the story that we have to learn? The lesson? Nothing. Kids
Well,
shaking their asses?
here's the thing: is that like the director of the movie, director or producer, I don't remember exactly. What they were trying, the message that they were trying to give out was that like the over sexualization of children is wrong. But the thing was is that literally
Okay.
they took that message, and yeah, like when you watch that movie, it's disturbingly uncomfortable because it's over sexualizing children at that
Exactly.
point. But it's like, dude, it's like if this same director was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a story about the Golden State Killer, I would move. I would leave. Because I would know for a fact that director would come to my fucking area and they'd be like, okay, we're making a movie on the Golden State Killer. So what do we need to do? We need to break into
Porn.
people's fucking houses and rape them and murder them and like kill their dogs. That's how we need
And
to make
stay
this video.
and the whole movie will be like a long ass porn.
Pretty much. Like it's gonna be legal fucking snuff films basically.
Exactly.
And they're gonna be
I
like
think so.
everything's gonna be so real that people are just gonna get the message like murdering is wrong. And I was like, no, that's
That's
not how
not
you
how it.
do things. Like
If he sits there and says that I think that way, then he already committed a crime, in my opinion. If he had these girls in his room, we know what he will do, right? So arrest him.
Yep.
I don't care. I'll fucking report that bitch later
Oh my god.
after this. I will find him and report him everywhere. That's my job, at least.
You know,
But
I
it's good also to talk about these things.
oh
I'm
yeah.
really thankful because sometimes we try to like put fingers in our ears and just act like nothing happened
Hmm.
in the world, and we should talk about these things. We should not normalize it or hide it under the.
No. And even if people have these feelings, which is which is why I'm gonna branch into a different story in a second here. But like
Mm-mm.
I think the awareness is good, especially like not only I think it's a little intimidating for sometimes for like people with bigger platforms. Like they'll
Mm.
say something, but it doesn't really go. The message goes across like a bunch of people, but a lot of people don't take it. But because they think like this person's on such a different level than they are, and that's why I think it's important to talk about it. Just like throughout, like even for me, like on a smaller platform, like I think it's important for me to talk about it, randomly stuff like that. Because like the easiest way to get someone to talk about something shitty is if you talk about something shitty first.
Yeah, exactly. True.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
it hurts, but it's shitty. It's we still need to do it.
mm. All right, Yuna, I'm gonna tell you about my murder story.
Oh no! What did
Oh
you? Who did
no,
you kill? What did you kill?
no. So now I touched a little bit on this earlier in the podcast about like listening to the podcasts about like the Golden State Killer and Jeffrey Dahmer and a couple others and stuff like that. It makes me kind of sad, and it made me feel a lot crazier than ever before. because like they would describe a lot of things, especially with the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. It's like, oh, like yeah, his parents would fight, and like when they're describing him as a person, and even like the Golden State Killer, they would describe characteristics of them that I can also see within myself, as far as like being a shy and reserved person, or like
Mm.
just having these. Obviously it's not the full fucking package, I'm not a serial killer, but it's just stuff like that, and I'm like, dude, like I don't understand why. For me, I just didn't understand it. It's like, why does like they're describing the Golden State Killer, and they're like, oh, he's just a very shy and reserved person, and like
And he
he
had hobbies
he had
and
hobbies and stuff like that, and like he didn't really click with his own family, but like he would make friends, and like he would try to not try, but like he would, in a sense, like be integrated into their family as if they were one of their
oh
own.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
that
kind of
guy. Yeah.
like,
Where
dude,
his
that
dad was not nice to him, and then this family just adopted him
yeah.
out of nowhere and loved him, and he loved them too. And it's like, I also did the same thing, but I think what's the reason? Because movies, ever since like forever, they
Mhm.
made the villains as like no life, no goal, no hobbies, no human kind of creature.
Yeah.
Even if they looked like humans, they had nothing except like kill, kill, kill. But these people just were like all of us, but they just snapped out of something.
Mm.
One that Jeffrey is also one of them. You know why they actually traumatized me? Because if I was in their way, I would have been a victim too.
Mhm.
Because you don't expect that. What's a killer? Like you don't have something physical that you can like check and then be like, that's a killer. Like
Mm.
Jeffrey Dahmer, you look at him, it's just like, oh, this shy white boy with glasses. That's
Yeah.
it. Um, Ed Kemper? That one traumatized the
Mhm.
fuck out of me. Like even the police didn't know because he's like well spoken, very smart, very nice and respectful. He doesn't cuss. He doesn't like yell at people. He listens to others and waits for his turn. He's just a normal person. It's like I would be friends with him. I would die if I was friends with him, of course. But
Mhm.
how do you protect yourself? How do you know someone can is capable of these? It's not like a certain look or their eyes are red and weird looking like cats. No, they just like you and I.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
scared.
You've been talking to a serial killer this whole time,
No! Imagine.
I'm kidding.
But you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you actually do not know. Like, if
Mhm.
we send you back to 30 years ago, you might have been friends with these people. That's why maybe in
Mhm.
your head, it doesn't click and it scares you because you see yourself in them as like a normal human being.
Mhm.
And like, I'm not like that, but would I even be approached by them and be with their friends? Will I believe them? Will I be dead by them? I'm the same. I'm home, I'm online, and that's it.
I I think that was the scariest thing for especially, I mean, I think it was mostly here in the US. The scariest statistic is that for a lot of people nothing really changed, other than like having a little bit more trouble at like the grocery stores, obviously because
Yeah.
they have to do more protocols. But
Mhm.
I mean, they say the creepiest statistic is that like for a lot of people don't even notice the difference because they live their lives mostly in.
Yeah. I can live in quarantine another 3 years and I will not even feel anything. As long as I can eat and sleep and be online, I'm okay. And that's a life that I lived my whole life. So sometimes, like, when I see other, like, I live a normal life in my head, right? This is the
Mm.
life I know. But when I see other people questioning my choices and be like, you don't want to go out, you don't want to travel, you don't want to do this, you don't, I'm like, am I maybe weird? Like, am I missing something that I never had?
I don't I don't think it's weird. The only thing that I would suggest is like at least try it once in the sense that, like, at least go camping once, just to see what it's like. If you don't like it, well then don't like it. But at least then you know.
I can never go camping ever
Why?
because of all the stories. You know why? About all the stories that I read and watched, I cannot actually get myself to doing that ever in my life. I'm afraid something will happen and someone will do something, you know?
Nah. Like, I mean, what I mean by camping is, like, you're not gonna be camping out in the middle of, like, nowhere. You're gonna be going to at least, like a designated camping spot where there's gonna be, obviously, just more people around, but not really in your camping ground. But
Oh, okay. I see. I see. Like a beginner type of thing. It's like
kind
not
of,
too far away from home.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
maybe
mean,
that one day.
honestly, like, or if you have, like, a home where there's, like, a bunch of, like, grass and stuff like that, if you have, like, a backyard with, like, grass, like, it's mostly
Yes.
grassy, even just, like, a backyard camp out, like, it's still kind of fun. Or at least
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
it's
Yeah.
fun. Cause, like, I wasn't there for it, but what my one of my sisters did recently over at my mom's place is they decided to make, like a giant pillow fort with, like, blankets and shit like that. So their
Ooh.
entire living space was this one giant pillow fort of blankets and pillows everywhere, which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty fun.
Never
Um,
had that, but it sounds comfy and cute.
it's like, I think it's pretty cool. Um, so it's cool. That's kind of like camping, but you're in the comfort of your own home.
That
Um,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. But the thing was, is that, like, I guess their main concern at that point was, like, getting rid of all of the blankets and fucking pillows and stuff like that.
Yeah, always the cleanup. That's why I do everything in VR. You don't need
Oh
to.
my, you don't need cleanup.
Yes.
There,
uh,
no, I can relate to that in the sense that I don't know if you actually watched it, but I was doing this campaign with Van Toren and Mango Bells. We're doing this, like, D&D like campaign, and
mm,
it's called Monster of the Week. It's more like, I guess, if you were to cross D&D and, like, Supernatural, that's kind of what it
uh,
was like. And have you seen Supernatural?
yes.
Okay, so that it's kind of like that. Um, but anyway, so Van and Mango have very normal characters, but my character's a little different. So it's a gender swap. I'm a she in that campaign.
No.
And I'm also a, like, a psychic kind of, like, character, but I also wear a watermelon helmet
Why?
because that is my character, you know. Let me see if I can find a picture of her.
Oh, I wanna see.
It's not what I drew, but it's definitely my inspiration. And her name is Watermelondrea.
Oh my god, I like that name.
Yeah,
It's so beautiful.
I know. But anyway, so, like, the first, because I didn't think the campaign was gonna be something that we were gonna do on a weekly basis, and then it turned into that, a weekly basis kind of thing. So the first episode was just kind of a joke, and I thought about remaking her. Here is Watermelondrea.
My goodness.
Yes,
Like that? I was actually
yes.
thinking like a cute, like,
No. So one time, Van decided to stream our encounter, and I was just kind of like, okay, well, okay. The first episode was done off stream, and it was just like a recorded thing. The second episode I knew was going to be streamed, so that time I actually decided to get in character, and I got a voice changer, and I set the tone of my voice a lot higher, and I tried to speak as if I was more so like a woman. And then I thought about it. I was like, no, I have to do something different this time. So I physically I bought a watermelon and I ate more than half of it to create this watermelon helmet, and I wore it on stream for the most part.
Do you have a picture? I want to see.
I think Van has a picture posted on
Oh my goodness.
Twitter. I'd have to take a look.
That's actually funny.
But here's the thing: is the cleanup, and this is the whole point of that, is that the cleanup fucking sucked. Eating a watermelon, especially that much of a watermelon, is not fun. So maybe I should have done it as a VR avatar. Now that I think about it.
Yes. Or just buy a fake helmet, from AliExpress or something like that.
Something like that.
But I know what you mean. Especially eating something when you don't feel like it. Watermelon is good, but only when you want it,
Hell yeah.
And also, how do you find the size? Also, is another problem. Like, you have to know if it fits your head, if it's big enough, if it's not too big.
Let me tell you that I had to sit there and measure my own head and then roughly pull my arms apart, and I'd bend over and cup my arms around a watermelon, and I had to get a bigger watermelon than that's how. But I was doing that at the grocery store, so I was like, dude, I'm gonna look like a fucking psychopath. This is not normal.
That's actually funny to watch.
Okay, so do I follow you on Twitter? I think I do.
You do.
Yeah. Okay. I'll send it to you via Twitter. That's the tweet. But I wasn't done with it. So I'd recently got home. So that I had already ate half of the watermelon, and I just needed to carve out the eye holes for it. But that's me wearing the watermelon helmet.
Wait, so you were putting your whole head underneath the watermelon? Not like the one you sent me? For the eye holes.
Yeah, okay, so the thing is that I couldn't actually find it in a whole watermelon that big. They were actually pretty small. So what I was gonna do is just have it, because it went down a little bit more once I carved out a little bit more. But the thing is that I couldn't find an entire watermelon that big to completely encapsulate my entire head.
Ah, I see it.
Yeah. So that's why I did it that way, at least.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love how crazy stuff you're coming up with.
Yeah, and then I mean, we still haven't done it. I think our DM's been busy this month, but hopefully by next month I can try to figure something out. I'll make a watermelon avatar for VR.
Do it. Do it. It's easier, and you don't have to eat anything or clean up.
True. Very, very true. Okay, anyway. All the watermelon talk aside.
Watermelon! Inside a watermelon! Oh. I like how we talked about everything and anything.
Yeah, no, that's what I enjoy. That's the style that I like. It doesn't have to, because okay, this is something that I learned with the first podcast. Because I'm sure you've heard the first 3 that I did alone.
Yeah, you were doing gaming also, right? Like a game.
Yeah. I had a game playing in the background, but it's not something that I was actually gaming at that moment. But I wanted to do it kind of like that, at least for the solo podcast, because it still gives them a reason to watch a video at the same time. But it wasn't until I spoke with my my voice actor friend, who, I mean, it was more kind of like an interview, but not really. that's when I started getting a feel for it that maybe I should have this segmented in a sense. So
Mm.
I started breaking it down and I wanted to, or started refining it in a way, like sharpening the edge of a knife right before you stab someone.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yes,
oh,
exactly.
okay, yep, I know exactly what that feels like.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, so then I tried that with Sierra, and the talk with Sierra was supposed to be examples of toxic femininity and how, how to address those and stuff like that.
How
And
did it go to your side? Like a type of um mushroom.
a type of what?
How did it get from that to your type of mushroom?
That's where I had to rethink the entire process like after that podcast. I was like there's absolutely no way that at least with Sierra, I can't have a segmented portion cuz literally the entire podcast was like talking about fucking it was literally just talking about penis sizes and foreskin and like other stuff and I'm just kind of like you know I'm glad that we had this fun and very interactive chat, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I can't plan any sort of talks with Sierra like this. It's just not possible.
It was really fun to watch
It was really
and
fun.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with Eric and Sierra, I still haven't finished. I got really crunched at work, and I'm still in the
Mm.
process of editing, so I still need to do that. But the upcoming live portion of the podcast, I'm trying to do on Monday with Van Toren, and I'm gonna go like the steps. It's gonna be kind of like, I mean, it's gonna sound generic, like it's going to be. Hold on, I have the stream ideas. There it is. Okay, so you know how most streamers have like the like streamer advice and stuff like that, or
Mm.
like streamers, just streamers do's and don'ts, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I thought about something like that, and I was looking at. I mean, I've gotten requests on like, what do I do for my stream? Where do I find the stuff? How do I get it? And just so on and so forth. It was only a request from a couple of people, but I thought I could work a podcast around it in the sense that like I at least on the podcast, it might be pre-recorded or at least some of the segments. I would at least go through the entire steps. So on stream, I want to create an email account and just a random fake dummy email account and then go through the motion of like signing up for Twitch, obviously something super basic, but it's something
Mm.
that like a lot of people, some people think it's too difficult to stream or that they can't stream and stuff like that. So I just wanted to take them through, take them through the motions. Get an email, get a Twitch account. Where exactly do you put your stream keys and into OBS? How you set it up when you're looking at OBS? When you have frames missed due to rendering lag or skipped frames due to encoding lag, what do those things mean? And
Mm.
how do you smooth those like edges or wrinkles out and like refine your stream in that sort of sense? And just small stuff, not small stuff like that. But um and even for a different thing. So like I'd do that for OBS and like show someone how to do it on like their console. So I'd need to figure out how to actually do those. And even if
Oh
they're
yeah.
like console streamers, like have basic things like for example, like stream elements that can like obviously if you're a console streamer, you can't have alerts go off on your stream. I mean you can, but you need other things.
Yeah, yeah.
Um but the advice that I was trying to give them was at least like, oh, like at least sign up for stream elements, have a bot say thank you for every follow, like even just
Oh,
in
true.
chat. Like it's
Yeah,
just,
then they can read it and see it.
yeah, it's just the
Thank
small
them.
things. And
Yeah,
then
most people don't know about that.
yeah, so I wanted to show them like at least those smaller things and like help some of them like at least build up to that point.
Yeah, things
um
that can change their stream and make it unique, but people don't even know where to find them.
yeah.
I know what you mean, yeah.
um
Like, for example, a mask. not many people know what that is. For the camera, where like if you want your camera to be like a circle, then you put a mask on it on top of it, and then it becomes like, like a different shape instead of
Yeah,
like the square or rectangle.
that's something that I would want to do more like as an OBS talk, but this is just like the beginning. This would be like part 1 of like I don't know,
Or
like
you
5.
want to stream how to
Yeah.
do that? Yeah, okay.
So that's my first segment. I have 3 written at the moment, and they're not refined, but it's just like a rough draft. But the first one would be like create an account, create small things, even just minor things like alerts, at least in chat, setting up a bot if you're doing PC streaming, and just small things, just
And
the
panels.
in panels and the essentials and stuff like that, and where to find them. Segment
Also,
2,
teach them to protect their accounts. Not a lot of people know about the
it's
2FA.
2FA. I have that written down.
Oh, okay. That will be amazing video. A lot of people want to stream now. They have a lot of time, but they actually think everything is too much, too
Too complicated,
difficult.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's really not. And
If you know it. No.
no, you just need to do some research. But there's even a whole like OBS thing because a lot of people ask me, not a lot, but when I type in chat, or at least when people type in chat, they notice that like obviously my chat is like slanted. And I don't
I
know if you
wanted to ask you that once.
yeah, it's slanted. So if you look at it on I was explaining it on stream I think a week or two ago. But the thing is that it slants towards the center of the screen. It's the same like kind of psychology as to why whenever I'm streaming, if I'm looking at the game, it's always going to be towards the center of the screen. Because a lot of people thought that like I use my mouse with my left hand and my keyboard on right because my camera was inverted for the longest time.
Mm.
So it's just like small, like I want the game to be the focus of the stream as well as me and chat and stuff like that. But I still center
Yeah.
everything towards the game mostly.
I never seen someone with your, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. That's so 3D.
It's nice. Although
It
it,
really looks.
it eats up a shit ton of my CPU, which feels bad.
Oh my
But I
gosh.
just need I need a better setup. This setup was great for gaming back in 2015, 2016. But the thing is that I didn't plan on streaming. So this computer can handle pretty much any game and run it on high to ultra settings. It's
Mm.
just the streaming portion. It can't do that with streaming.
Yeah, I know. I feel you.
Yeah.
Mine is also giving up soon, but it's not quite there yet. Like for VR games, I cannot anymore. They're
Oof.
becoming like more and more demanding.
Yeah.
Like for example, Cyberpunk. Even a desktop game, I cannot even think about playing that game on my setup.
If you actually, I don't know. Because for me, VR is a little my okay. When when I play games like Resident Evil 3, the remake, when I played it, I fucking sorry. I played a lot of it on high, offline, and it ran just fine. But when I boot something up as simple as like VR chat, it skips randomly. And like I
Mm.
get it that it's like sometimes loading and like there's a loading lag and stuff like that, but it skips way too often. So I think you should be fine. Personally, I think you should be fine with like Cyberpunk.
Maybe like on super low settings.
Maybe. Or at least on
But to stream it, that will be like suicide mission.
yeah, to stream it, no.
Yeah.
Offline it I think it should be fine. 'Cause sometimes
Yeah, I
you
know.
have a lot of your avatar like the avatar where you have like all of the flowy hair, a lot of
Mm.
moving parts. And that takes up a lot of PC power or processing power.
Yeah, that's
Um
why this one has nothing now.
mm,
Ain't nobody got time for that. No, right now at least.
yeah.
I don't want to kill my PC. It's already dead.
Oh no. Okay, just pull a Dahmer.
No.
Just open it up and see how it
And eat
works.
it.
No, no. Well, no. Okay, not that far.
Okay,
Not
okay.
that far. Oh my god.
Oh, pour acid in it.
Oh
In
my
the
god.
CPU.
No, not that far. Pull it back, pull it back. Just think young Dahmer when he mostly
Oh,
killed
just
animals
check it.
and
Just find a dead PC and look at it. Okay, I see.
yeah, and just open it up and see how it works.
God damn it, I feel so dirty now.
No, no,
So
no.
nasty.
No, you're good. I mean, here's the thing is that I know that Dahmer definitely fucking started doing crazy shit like that. But
Mhm.
the only thing that sticks to my mind as far as like fucking Dahmer at the moment is him mostly killing animals and his first victim, where he invited them over to have like beers and he like knocked him out with a 10-pound weight and then masturbated over his body and then killed him.
The one that yeah. The one that scares me is like how lucky is the person the jogger was that he wanted to kill originally.
Yeah,
That has the best luck ever.
it's crazy.
Do they even know? Do you think?
No, they never knew. I'm pretty sure
Damn.
they probably still don't even know to this day.
Exactly, and that's how lucky you can be. He wanted to kill him. He waited for him, but that day he might maybe snoozed his alarm clock. You never know.
Yeah. Um, I
And
think I
Jeffrey Dahmer is still a person that you would trust. See him on the streets. He looks friendly. Why?
uh personally I just don't trust strangers.
No. I mean, like in that time,
Yeah,
like when
and
you were, before the internet era, we would have trusted that guy
yeah,
more than, let's say, more than the Night Stalker. That one looks evil.
the Night Stalker looks fucking crazy.
Yeah,
100%.
like you don't want
Also,
to get near him because he actually like radiates the hateful energy from his body. Like you can feel it
mm,
from the screen. But I never felt it from Dahmer. Dahmer is like that shy kid that doesn't talk too much unless spoken to, and reserved, maybe a little bit smart, from a nice family, middle class boy.
mm,
He never looked like a monster.
true, true.
And that's what got me interested in the whole thing in true crime. I was like, okay, hold up, rewire my brain now. Not everyone that looks evil to you is evil. So you need to know, like, psychology wise, what can you see to know that this person is potentially dangerous? I don't know that yet, but I would love to learn about that.
So I don't know. It kind of creeps. I mean, like just listening to the podcast and even like what you're saying, it makes me kind of want to trust people less. In all honesty, because I'm like, dude, these are basically not normal people, but like obviously because they went around murdering people, but for the most part, it's like it's people just you wouldn't suspect at all,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I don't know, I kind of have a problem with that because it's like now when I meet people, it's like, oh hey, I wouldn't suspect you for a murder, and I'm like, wouldn't suspect, huh? Probably killed someone at some point.
Or wanted to, or
Yeah.
anything. You know what I mean? Like, you
Or
never know.
maybe they did. That's also a
Yeah.
possibility. Also,
Like some psychopaths don't even act on it because it's useless for them, or it's too much of a hassle, right?
uh-huh.
Not everyone wants to be sadistic, but what if they are? What if they were waiting for the last moment?
Mm, it's true.
Yeah, look at the faces he had. Like none, only two look alike.
Only two look alike, but The question I have is like, for me, okay, here's the thing. I'm showing Yuna like the sketches made from eyewitnesses about the Golden State Killer. So the two in the middle, those are when the Golden State Killer was young. That's basically
Mm,
at the height of his killing sprees and whatnot. But when you look at
yeah,
the sketches on the right, they almost look nothing like him.
exactly.
Like,
For
dude, how do you
the upper one is like not even close.
know? Like, the other dude looks like a true psycho, like the sketch on the top right. The bottom right kind of looks like a creeper. Like, I think it'd be creepier if he had a mustache, but,
They
like,
gave him like a smug too.
yeah, because I think in the stories and, like, even some of the articles, they said he would smirk a lot. Or he gave the
Because he
impression
knows
of
what he can get
smirking.
away with, I guess.
Yeah. But then, like, you look at the ones on the left and they're like, dude, there's a fucking rampant rapist with a coconut helmet running around. Like,
Coconut.
I'm pretty sure if they were still looking for the Golden State Killer, they would look at
You mean
they'd look at Van Torren's streams and be like, huh, this guy's wearing a watermelon. Coconut? Coincidence? I think this guy's the Golden State Killer.
and then and then your moderator will be like, "Oh, I have an evidence,
This guy's a
Your
sociopath. He's
Honor."
really good at fucking Among Us. He lies out of his ass. It's
Ugh.
weird because the ones on the right they look like sketch artists, but the ones on the left they look like they had fucking like anime artists draw these people.
And why is the mouth open? It's like the whole time.
I don't know because they never describe him as a person that had like his mouth open. Like they described
Yeah.
him as a person that would always be breathing, but like or breathing heavily. But it's like, why does the mouth have to be open? Like I don't understand.
Maybe it's like like that.
Oh
Oh
my
no.
god. The top.
Ah.
Okay, so these sketches are from when he was wearing the supposedly the ski mask.
Mm.
The top one on the left, okay, I can kind of understand it. Like if you didn't know what a ski mask was, but even in the audio files, it's like, oh, he was wearing a ski mask and you can only see his eyes. It's like, dude, that looks like a helmet. That looks like he's rolling around in like fucking like he's legit wearing a watermelon on his head, and even the bottom one looks like a coconut.
Yeah, why even like bother with a mask if it shows every feature?
That's the whole point of the ski mask is to cover everything but your eyes. And even then, like most people wear like or not most, but I guess some people would wear like goggles or something to cover their eye color.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Maybe because he breathes a lot, he has to take it off when he's like doing his deeds, you know? I mean, these sketches are from the women, right?
I mean, these are I mean, they're sketches police draw these sketches based on the descriptions that they give them
Yeah, but the ones who actually saw
on him.
his
Yeah.
face with the mask is the victims, and they might see that.
Yeah.
Like he lifts it down and it's like, yeah, like he looks like the top one. He looks angry. You see that? Like he's like
Yeah.
screaming out. Like the irises are like so tiny. Ugh.
I don't even know.
He doesn't even have big eyes. Like, why are you misleading, Mr. Sketch?
He looks scared more than anything, Yuna. Like look at the ones on
Really?
the left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the top left.
Yeah, it
He's
looks
like,
like he's the one being victimized.
no, he looks like he's angry. He's reeing. You know, like. Wait, let me show you.
I
He
don't
looks like
know.
this.
No.
Look at the eyes.
No, okay. Look at fucking Pepe with the fucking AK. That looks like a man fucking ready to murder someone. The guy on the top left, he looks okay, look at the top left one. He's like, "Oh shit, I forgot my child at Target and I need to turn around and drive back to the store and pick him up." That's what that face looks like.
I almost said something horrible, but thank God I stopped myself.
Oh, you can say anything horrible.
No, no, no.
No, go for okay,
No.
I'm actually just curious.
I'll just type it.
Okay. Can I read it out loud?
Maybe.
Okay. Let's see what fun thing Yuna has for us.
It's not fun. I'm not gonna type anymore.
No, okay, no, type it. I retract my fun statement. But it is a horrible thing that she thought of. Let's see. No, but that's what it looks like. No, I agree. That's perfectly fine. That's some. I was trying to figure out how to word that, but yeah, that's exactly.
Oh my goodness. It's like, oh shit, I forgot it can't get in, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the women said they did not feel it. They were scared, but they did not feel anything entering, by the way.
Hey,
And maybe when they said that, he got angrier and he looked like that picture. See that?
Oh my god, she can't feel it.
Yeah, because that's an insult, right? That's horrible. It's like this alpha man coming in your house wanting to kill and rape you, and you're like, are you done?
I don't know. Like, I just don't. Alpha men don't do. I mean, okay, never mind.
No, he thinks like that, right?
Yeah, he thinks that he's an alpha.
Because he was tying up men and raping their women in front of them. Like that's like, oh, look at me, beta man. Like that's how I feel. Like he was like trying to force his sexuality out there. Maybe what he was lacking the most.
Yeah, yeah.
But he had kids afterwards, and nobody talked bad about him. Like, is that woman even alive? Was she alive?
His wife, I think. I'm pretty sure she is. Because from what I know, she moved away a few years before he was actually caught.
And she never complained about the micro penis.
She never complained, but at the same time, it's just maybe that's the reason she moved away.
Maybe. And it's also in a time that people were not complaining like we are now, 2020. No social media. It's just like she will tell her best friend or something like that. But
True.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people complain now. If you're not hung like a horse, then you're basically no.
Yeah, sadly. But like for him, it was like a medical condition, right? Like he actually did not have anything there.
I think the most important medical condition of all is that he ran around raping and murdering people. I don't think the micro penis is a problem. But yeah,
and no, it was a problem to him, I feel like, because if you die, are you gonna talk about it?
Yeah, that's true. You're not gonna talk about it. If he slept with
girls and went to clubs, they will insult him and say like, "Ew, he had the small dick," right? But like, he just like went in his creativeness, I guess.
Yeah, okay. I'm on the same page now. I can see that. I don't understand it. I can't relate, but I can see that.
I can't relate, but like from a dumbass standpoint, sometimes I try to put myself in their shoes, which never fits, but you can see like, oh, if I do this big brain moment, then nobody will know.
Yeah. That's true. Damn.
Because I feel like, I don't know. I have no idea, but like other people like did the same thing and they killed too. So you never know what the true motive is. Maybe actually like killing someone by doing that act on them might be like the ultimate sexual gratification they had, because the toolbox killers did the same thing by torturing girls, right?
Yeah.
Until they die in their bus van. Jeffrey Dahmer, not Jeffrey Dahmer. Ted Bundy, they said like he had more sexual pleasure after they were dead than they were alive. He did not care before he killed them.
Huh.
But Rodney Alcala raped and then killed. And then he posed them in a very I can't say that word, but like very disgusting poses where like if the police find them, then they get shocked.
Yeah,
and that was his ultimate fun time, I guess. So every one of them was different, but at the end of the day, it was all sexual. Most of them.
So, I mean, yeah.
Have you
I
seen
just
Jeffrey Dahmer how he posed them when he took the picture?
no. But at the
Don't look
same
it up.
time, I'm kind of curious.
He
But at
did
this,
like weird artistic shit posing on them.
I was about to say at the same time, I'm pretty sure this is the dude that would crack people's skulls open and like pour battery acid in their brain matter. And
Yeah. But one thing about the pictures, that's why I mentioned it. I forgot who. I have bad memory. But there's like this one millionaire man who has a statue that is exactly the same how Jeffrey Dahmer took the picture of his victim. And that guy, I think he was accused of something about like something with children.
Jesus.
So people are crazy, okay?
Yeah, no, people are psychotic. I mean, not everyone, obviously, but like these people, like, okay, for some, actually, no, honestly, for the majority of murder, the only one I feel kind of bad for is what was his name? Kemper?
Ed Kemper,
Yeah.
yeah. Which is
He's
also maybe a sort of manipulation too, because I feel sad for him, and that's why I feel guilty about myself.
yeah, like I feel kind of at least he's worded it in a way that I feel some sort of sympathy for him. Because when you listen to his story, like yes, he would kill all of these like women. I mean, I don't think he ever raped any of them, if I'm not mistaken.
His
But
mom,
he raped his mom?
head, severe head.
Well, anyway, the point was, but like,
It's this one.
oh my god.
If you want to see side by side, I can, but up to you.
No, I'm
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, so it's almost like that. He took pictures weird, like weird ass pictures like that, and people actually were making them and buying them, and I'm like, why? You know the history of it, so your reasoning is not like sympathizing with the victim. Then you're idolizing.
Yeah.
But sorry, go on.
Anyway, um, but the thing was is that as soon as he killed his mother at that point, but after that, like all of the killing stopped because his true, I guess from what he said, like it wasn't until, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't until he actually killed his mom that he realized that like the whole reason he mostly murdered people is because of his like hatred and love for his mom for whatever reason.
Yeah, and whatever utopia I was thinking about did not happen when she died. He felt empty.
Yeah.
So if he didn't actually go to the police himself, he might have not been caught ever
I'm sure
because
he
he was
wouldn't.
that smart.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have never been caught. But at the same, I mean, not at the same time. Like it's just I I find it odd, and maybe that's why I can somewhat sympathize because I feel like after he killed his mom, like the weight of all of that guilt definitely came crashing down on him. Or else, like, why else would you turn yourself in at that point?
Yeah, he felt empty, lifeless, no future, nobody to live for. He just felt like nothing.
Yeah.
But did you know he killed beforehand, by the way?
What do you mean?
Like his first crimes. Did you know about that? He was 8.
No, that's something that I'd missed. The only ones I know about are the I think it's
After.
the college ones, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he went to juvenile prison before for killing his grandfather and I
Oh,
think
joy.
grandma.
Oh, joy. I didn't know about those. Never mind. I can't sympathize with them. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Wait. Maybe I'm mistaken. Actually, let me fact check, okay? I think it's either that one or Ed Gein. Ed her grandparents. Yeah, he did. He did kill his grandparents. Um
Kemper or Geen?
yeah, so it says Ed Kemper.
Okay.
It says like serial killer, rapist, cannibal, necrophilia, who murdered 10 people, including his parent. parent, her grandparents, and mother. Kemper then murdered his mother and one of her friends before turning himself in. So he killed her friend too.
Oh, okay.
Because he invited her. He called his mom's friend to visit. He killed his mom. The friend came, and he killed the friend too.
I'm gonna just take back my statements. I can't sympathize with these people.
And here it says, at the age of 15, he killed both his grandparents to see what it felt like.
That's twisted. But then
So
he was
that's what I'm saying.
He
Like
was
maybe he's
convicted.
manipulating us.
Yeah.
No. He went to juvenile prison. He got out.
Yeah, but why?
That's why
why
once
would
you
they?
catch someone, don't fucking release. I don't care if they are infant babies from the womb with that umbilical cord stuck to them. If you put them in prison, never get them out, please.
But even then, it's like fucking Jeffrey Dahmer's parents. So they would see him like collect all of these bones as a kid, and have a maybe they didn't know about this, but like even have fascinations with like killing animals or like watching them die and like dissect like even roadkill and stuff like that. How do you allow this shit to happen?
Do you know who actually taught him how to bleach bones?
His father. His father taught him how to
Exactly.
bleach bones. But at the same time,
Exactly.
okay, here was, and the podcast that I was listening to made a very good point behind this, because, okay, so, um, he had, he didn't really, I guess he kind of had like a rough upbringing, in the sense that like his mother would create a lot of like arguments and like problems and stuff like that. Um, But the thing was is that at that time, like it was mostly him and his mom that would have all of these problems or like problems with the neighbors and stuff like that. Because his father was going to college to be a chemist. But in
Yeah,
his
yeah.
teen years, I forgot what it was, but like I think it was something having to do with like chicken, but he wanted to keep this like dead chicken's bones. So by that time, his father had already graduated like college, and he was like he knew a lot about chemistry. So
Mhm.
if this kid wanted to like keep bones, like as a parent, like sometimes you don't understand your kids, I would assume. But like if you want to
Yeah.
do like something with your kids, like oh hey, like if you're gonna keep these in the house, you might as well have them like clean and sanitized. So let me just teach you how to bleach bones at least, just to keep
Or
them
maybe even the father
sanitary.
felt like a bonding moment with the kid, you know? Oh,
Yeah,
he's interested in
exactly.
my job. But you don't know how interesting it was to him,
Yeah,
sadly.
cause then you'd later fucking pour battery acid into people's heads.
Yeah.
I wait. Anyway, like okay, doing the bonding moments like that, I can sort of understand. Like teaching
I
them
can't blame
to
the parents, yeah. It's
I
like like teaching your child how to cook or like skin meat, right? And then they do that to humans. It's like it did not intend it to be like that.
no, and even he says it like the majority of the time, like he doesn't blame his parents at all. In some of those interviews he's like, Dad, just don't blame my parents, like this and that. There was one where I guess they were having an interview with Jeffrey Dahmer and his parents were also present. They're like, we didn't teach you any of this stuff, how could you go around killing people? Like, well, that's just what he wanted to do, apparently,
Mm.
what he was fascinated with.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah,
It's
no,
kind of
it's
weird because most of the time, like people put it like I said, like they always rationalize everything. Like, oh, they had a bad
uh
childhood and this happened to them and trauma and they get raped and blah blah blah, and then that's why they kill. But like Jeffrey Dahmer is just like the perfect childhood. He had parents that spoiled him. He had money. He had everything, and that happened to him. And it's like, oh, okay.
yeah.
How do you explain it? And then people just put it like, oh, maybe because he was gay and he was not happy with it. No, he was just a scumbag.
Yeah.
And also, other people said something about him, why he started like, but his killing started before he went to Milwaukee, right? But like people were saying, because he went to a black neighborhood,
Mm.
And he was going to the gay bars. A lot of people wanted him to be a bottom, and he did not want to. And
Mm.
that's why he was drugging them, and then he became a top that way. And he liked it. But then he killed someone before that, so that's not the only thing to rationalize why he started like killing.
No, like I think regardless, like an argument can be made that he always wanted to be the dominant type. But like I don't think it's because he wanted to be submissive. I don't think that matters. I think he just wanted to be the person on top in the sense that he was killing you, not because of
Exactly.
like any sort of sexual thing. He just
But like he also puts it like, oh, I didn't know I did that. Oh, I woke up with like a bruised hand and the person was dead. Like he was trying to rationalize.
yeah, yeah.
But I
Um
think it's just like him wanting ultimate control.
yeah, for the most part cuz like even going I don't yeah, I'm pretty sure this was his first killing when he picked up the hitchhiker and they had like beers in his home.
Mm-hmm.
When the guy ultimately wanted to leave, he wanted to be the one in control, and he didn't strangle him. He hit the guy as he was leaving in the I think it was in the back of the head a couple of times with like a 10-pound dumbbell, and like he just masturbated over his. He wasn't dead. He just masturbated over his like passed out body, and then it wasn't until after all of that happened that he strangled the person with the same dumbbell. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I just
So, is it like? I think it's of course it's 100% sexual, but like I feel like he wants them to be unconscious when he does what he wants to do with their body and then die.
I would assume so. I think that's how he gets off. Because later on in life, when he was living with his grandmother, there was an instance where his grandmother took away this mannequin. He had like a just like a plastic mannequin that he used to like supposedly get off with, but like he wanted his or not his victims, but like I guess his sexual pleasure came from things that would not that were unresponsive, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it had to be mannequin like. It's crazy though. I don't know. I
That
can't
is so horrible. Yeah.
I can't really put myself in that like same kind of
I can't
mindset.
find it either. I can't find the channel. But you can see at least the why, and it's all sexual
Yeah.
and for him it's just like a person without a brain or without conscience. And that's why he wanted zombies. They can move around, but they have no will.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted. He could have just waited 20 years later and get like a sex doll. Now they are very responsive now,
He could have.
and soon there will be like robots and all of that. He had the money to get that, I guess, but it might have been very expensive in the 90s.
Oh my god. I okay. Remember how we were talking about earlier that like you can't really put the blame on like the person. It's basically the person's fault as to why they're killing. You can't put the blame on like his ex-girlfriend or like they're the reason
Yes.
why. Okay. So I forgot exactly. He had killed a few times, but he was sent. I don't know if you remember, but like he was sent to his grandma's as like a punishment because he didn't really have a job and he had a drinking problem. But like
Yes.
it wasn't until roughly, and they speculate that roughly after his grandmother took away and threw away that mannequin, that's when the killing started up again. And it's one
True.
of those situations like she didn't know. Like I'm
Of
pretty
course
sure
not. Yeah.
if he had kept that
Sad.
mannequin, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have killed people. At
He
least
would have been a little bit content for maybe few more years.
probably. But
But
it's
you never know, like how would you know that can trigger someone?
yeah,
Or like his dad trying to open his closet where he had the skull in, or like the suitcase, also triggered him to kill even more than that and have his own apartment. He would have not moved out. He would have like maybe had like one or two guys every few months, right?
yeah,
But because his dad was intruding in his room and wanting to open the suitcase where he had a skull, made him decide to move out alone, And when he moved out, he just went out of the window. He had like sometimes 4 guys in the same house that were dead.
Yeah.
And he could have never done that either when his dad was around. It's like a lot of decisions you make and have like a huge weight and consequences that you never know.
It's crazy.
Just how let him have his sex toys, you know, like if someone has it, like parents, and you see a mannequin, leave it.
Just leave it.
Just leave it.
I need to get rid of mine.
Ooh, can we see?
Kidding. Little mannequin.
Is it like a blow up doll?
I don't even really have like a lot of figurines or anything. I know I have a couple of like Funko Pops, but it's really obvious.
I thought you were going like I don't really have a lot of toys.
Oh, like I don't really like obviously there's a couple of sentimental things. Like even on that board right there. Can't see it, but it's behind the little cross stitch thing. There's a what I have is a what's it called? You know those things for babies like that sometimes they like hang them over the cribs and like it's like a little rotating thing. So I at some point in life I had removed one of the bunnies that was on my little spinning thing and I kept it because it was sentimental to me.
No.
So I still have one of those bunnies and it's like back there. But other than that, like I don't really keep
Can we
much.
see it?
Why?
Just because I want to see you shrink.
I'm gonna cut the video at fucking.
Why though?
I mean, I'll cut the video. I won't. I mean, not right now. I'll cut the video on the video, like the YouTube video, once it's actually posted.
I see.
But I mean, I think it's there. I'm not sure. Hold on. Let's see.
Okay. Oh, so adorable.
What's up?
It's so adorable.
I know. There's like a little necklace on it that says my name.
And it's so clean.
Yeah, it's super clean. I mean, it looks a little dustier on not dusty, but like obviously you can tell there's like wear and tear like in person, but it looks a lot cleaner on frame. Obviously, like there's
really
little things here and there. But yeah. I'm gonna go start murdering rabbits.
No, please.
No, please don't do it.
Murder them in online games, you know, like find them and kill every single rabbit, but never real life.
No,
we have the outlet to kill everything in virtual worlds. You know?
It's one of those things that like I don't like you said earlier, like things that can't really decide for themselves. I have a very hard time like even like if a cat randomly like came over to me, even if I didn't know the cat, if it wanted me to pet it, I would most likely like, you know, bend down and like pet a cat or a random dog and stuff like that. I'm very trusting of animals. Too trusting sometimes.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I mean, they are like better than humans in telling you what they want. They don't just like switch like to nothingness or to killing mode without a reason, you know.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. I have a hard time, but that's also a very common trait amongst serial killers is that they tend to torture and kill animals. Things that like you know, that they can't really decide for themselves or don't have a will for themselves or can't break free. Like I can't do that. That's how I know I can't.
Yeah, same.
Well,
I
okay.
can't do that either.
Let me
Unless it's a cockroach, then fuck that. Oh shit! TV always brings the violence in children.
Yeah.
But the thing is, from all of the they're all traumatizing, okay. But what is the most traumatizing criminal you ever seen? Like maybe that you couldn't rationalize it or understand it or like even fathom it.
Dahmer every single time.
Why?
You he's cutting people, he's cracking people's skulls open and like pouring battery acid into them and like skinning people alive, not alive, but like dead people, like holding their bones. Like I can understand having a fascination with like animal bones because I have a small collection of animal bones. Um, I'm just making myself seem more and more like Jeffrey Dahmer. But the thing is that like I can see the fascination with like those kinds of hobbies, the animal bones or like feathers and stuff like that. Those fascinations, I can see that. But what I can't see is then like turning around and doing that to like other humans and stuff like that. Um
Hmm.
like for me, like the things I mean based on the question, like things that I cannot like understand would be people like Jeffrey Dahmer. Am I Which is weird because like the ones that I hate more would be people like the Golden State Killer, like rapists and people that rape and kill. Because like
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
more
I understand you.
I'm more
Yeah.
rage induced when it comes to that. Because those are just like injustices against people that can't really defend themselves.
Yeah.
But I'm more disgusted with things like the Dahmer situation because it's like I don't
I
know.
mean, I can understand it because it's like it also involves okay. No, Golden State Killer. First of all, he goes in, rapes, gets the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have time to torture. He doesn't have time to revisit. He doesn't have anything to do, and the body is still there with their families.
Mm-hmm.
They still get buried. But with Dahmer, it's like the manipulation to the victim that almost ran away from him sticks
Mm-hmm.
with me. Um, and the things he does to them before and then the post processing of it, like the eating, the bleaching, the putting them in the toilet. Like he never stops after they're dead to disrespect the dead,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like maybe that's why it's very unusual. Like every year you will hear about rape victims, right? But you never hear about that again because it's like too much going on to that crime and his head that he has no remorse. He just wakes up and he puts them in a drum near his bed, dissolving while he has other people in the house. It's like that guy was not human, in my opinion,
No. That
at all.
guy's
He lived, ate, and fucked, and that did everything to people, and
yeah,
then disrespected them by flushing them in the toilet.
true.
A horrible person. But then when you hear him talk, it's like, who is this scared boy? You
Who's
will
this
not even know
scared
his
boy?
crimes.
Who's
Yeah,
this
he just looks
innocent
like, oh, and
man?
he looks down and he's talking softly, and it's like, oh, maybe he just stole, maybe shoplifting or something like that. And then you hear his crime, and it's like, huh? I couldn't sleep either. But for me, he's not the most traumatizing I have seen. Have you ever heard of the toy box killer?
No.
That guy is worse, in my opinion, because. Uh, mm, uh, okay, briefly,
Mm-hmm.
it's a guy who had a van out of nowhere, like out in the nowhere. Like he lives like somewhere, okay, where like he doesn't have a lot of people around him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sent his daughter to recruit and he will put them in the toy box where he made a lot of torturous sex devices like 20-inch long dildos
Mm-hmm.
with like rusted nail heels. It's all sex, and he puts them like where like the gynecologist chair where like they can like
Yeah, yeah.
tie their legs. Yeah, he uses that on them. He first of all will put them in a room and he plays a recording of his voice telling them like they will never escape, they will be slaves, he will make his dogs rape them. Um, so many things. Sorry, I said the R word. This is YouTube.
Oh,
But
that's fine.
like a lot
Oh,
of things that happens to these girls, and him and his girlfriend would do a lot of stuff. A lot of guys will come in the house. It's like he had a whole shop of slavery,
mm-hmm.
and that story pissed me off because it can happen today.
Yeah, that's true.
I couldn't sleep after that. But the other one that traumatized me too, maybe because I was directly involved in it, sadly, kind of like I felt guilty. Is okay, One Man, One Ice. Have you seen that?
One man, what?
One Ice Pick.
No.
How about the name Luca Magnotta then? A Canadian killer.
No.
Recently, like 2012 ish. So this guy is attention-seeking hoe. Okay. He started first by killing and suffocating cats in like a tight Ziploc bags and filming them and posting them online. And a lot of people who were like passionate
Okay.
about animals were trying to find him. Have you ever heard of that story?
That's starting to sound a little bit more familiar. But go on.
So after a while, he was getting fed up with these people, and he was like, "Next time, it will not be an animal." So fast forward, Chinese student goes to Canada, and then he goes on Craigslist, finds like an ad of like, "Hey, I will show you around. I want a model. I'll take pictures of you and blah blah blah." He met this guy. He took him to his apartment, and he started filming a video
Mhm.
while he was cutting him up and all of that. And I was edgy at that time, so someone sent me a gore video and I watched it while I was eating lunch and I was like, that's so fake, like,
Mhm.
oh no, human meat does not look like that, or people bleed more. And like I was just like dismissive of the video. I was like, it's fake. It's obviously fake. And I left.
Uh-huh.
A year later or something, a few months later, I think, I hear it in the news. God damn it! So this dude flies to Germany, goes to internet cafe, watches himself because he's so narcissistic,
Mhm.
and they catch him and then they send him back to Canada, and then the stories like gets unfolded, right? So he killed that Chinese student. He cut him into pieces in the video, of course. He did a lot of horrible things and then he severed his body and he
Mhm.
sent it to schools, to councils, like to children's schools, by the way, elementary schools. And then
Okay.
he had no remorse. He was so proud of it, and he said like it made him famous finally. So that guy, the hate I have for him, it cannot go away until he's dead, because somehow I feel like I was the camera and I was in the room and I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's my trauma. Like after that,
That
I actually went into a bad mental health, like really bad paranoia.
that's crazy.
I can't drink milk anymore because I was drinking milk that day.
If it makes you feel better, I just can't drink it in general. Tolerant.
I mean, a little, but it was horrible because I witnessed it. It feels like you were there. Like these other stories, I hear about them, the
Mhm.
aftermath, right? But this one, I didn't expect it. Someone just sent me a video. I watched it, and up till now, my curiosity can never get the better of me because I already like I get so depressed that I was put on medication. That's how bad I got.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what kickstarted my fascination with true crime, because he also looks very young and intimidating. And after that, I went into the rabbit hole and I know a lot about killers that I shouldn't know.
Yeah, no, I mean everyone kinda like has that, not everyone, but like people that get really into like crime, like murder like cases and stuff like that. I feel like some people have like not a run in like that, but just they'll experience something somewhat similar.
Hmm. Yeah.
But that's, I don't know, that's pretty heavy in my opinion.
For me, it was, yeah. Especially that all the big criminals that we talked about today are
Mhm.
like, what, like 30 years old, like the cases.
Yeah.
And you might think, like, nothing can happen now, but then you have like a sensation serial killer, like online. But luckily, we have things that can catch people, like DNA internet thingies. Like the police, if they put their heads into it, they can catch people faster than they did like in the 80s.
Oh yeah,
And I'm happy he got caught. But imagine if he killed someone in Germany when he flew here, you know? So scary.
yeah.
And that made me paranoid. Like, who do you meet every single day? Like, I used to go to college far away. So a city called Utrecht, and it's like the center of the country. So every train,
Okay.
everything comes there, and maybe 10,000 people go there a day. And how
Jesus.
you can't assume all these people are innocent or never done something wrong or wanted to do something wrong, you know? And I started people watching like a stalker. I was like, is this
Started
person a killer?
started stalking people randomly.
Yeah, I will sit in the train. I'll be like, is this person dangerous? And I went to the, oh shit, another Canadian story.
Oh no.
Um, the guy that, it's not funny. I just like nervously laugh. But the guy that killed the guy in the bus, have you also heard of that story?
A Canadian guy killing someone on the bus? No.
That is also another traumatizing story because I took the bus all the time.
Hmm.
And now I can't sit in the back or let anyone lock me in. Where, like, you know, the seat that, like, if there are two seats, I don't like sitting near the window anymore because that's what happened to this guy. They couldn't save him because this guy had, like, a long ass knife, kitchen knife, I think, or butcher knife. And he just immediately started, like, hacking at this boy because he was schizophrenic. Oh my god, I can't say that word of, like, the mental
Schizophrenic.
illness. Yeah, so somehow in his head he believed that this boy was evil and he started like hacking at him and he was like holding his head and trying to like throw it at people and stuff like that and cut his tongue. And all they had to do was lock him inside the bus while the police comes. And I'm like,
Did they?
how do you even know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no. It could be anyone's time at any moment, and like, I don't know. When it comes to people that like live a more reserved life indoors, I can, from that perspective, I can understand it. I can understand not wanting to fucking leave your home because there's like, I mean, it's
It's
just
so
it's a small chance though. It's a very, very, very slim chance.
it is very slim chance, but when it happens, it's devastating.
Yeah, but I don't, I don't know. For personally for me, I don't think it would ever really stop my love of just like doing things outside, or like, I mean,
Mm.
I'm very, uh, I can be a decently social person, but at the same, like, I'm still a shy person, but I like human interaction for the most part. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that like I'm gonna trust every single person that I run into. Like, no, like
So you're more careful now,
I'm
right?
extremely careful.
Yeah.
Like, if it's
For me,
people, like,
I'm careful but paranoid careful.
if anyone like if anyone offers me a ride, the chances of me taking it are very, very slim.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather walk home. I'd rather take 2 hours walking home than to take a 15-minute ride with like a stranger that I just like don't have a good vibe about. Even though
Yeah.
like they're most likely just like a perfectly functioning regular human being. But at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, I'll
It's not
random
worth the risk.
yeah. Especially if I
Yeah.
don't know them. Had I talked to them like a lot, like let's say it was at a bar. I spoke to them a lot at a bar and they seemed like a normal person. And a lot of people, not a lot, but just like some people can vouch for them. Yeah, sure, I'll take the ride. It's just some random person like that I hardly ever spoke to. No, most definitely not.
I mean, if I have to, I have other things to do. Like you know, like WhatsApp. Do you use that?
Yes, I know what it is, but I don't use it often.
I only use it for my family.
Uh huh.
So what I do is like I share my location,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll also take a picture of their like license plate. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
how weird they think I am. If I have to, it's like midnight and I'm like out of like in the middle of the desert and nobody can help me, then I will actually take it. But I will do that. I will sit in the back. Fuck that shit.
Mhm.
Because you never know what can happen, and I will send it to someone, and someone can actually like follow me. That's why I always have 4G, because you never know. You need the internet for things. If I disappear, then it won't take 50 days to find any evidence. At least they have a few.
I don't I don't know if I'd sit in the back though. Cause like child locks. I don't know if you guys have those.
Oh god, damn, you scared me now. Yeah, I
You guys
forgot
have
about
them, yeah.
that.
Cause like, okay, think about it. Like you're like, oh, I'll just sit in the back, and you close the door. The moment that door closes, you cannot open it anymore.
No. Yeah, I forgot that existed,
Yeah,
actually.
and like, no, trust me, it's a huge risk. Like sitting next to someone, especially if like let's say it is a serial killer and they're going to kill you. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a risk sitting next to them, but at the same time, it's just kind of like I don't know. I really don't trust child locks because it's not like you
Me neither, yeah.
like obviously once the door's open, you can't check to see if the door will open. It's only up until it actually closes that
From the
you'll know.
inside.
Yeah, from the inside.
True.
So I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't trust the back of a car. I'd always
But
do the
see,
side.
but the thing is, the scariest part of this is there are a lot of people who don't even second guess anything. They
Yeah.
don't even think about these possibilities. For me, at least, I know I'm kind of paranoid. I know how to protect myself, right?
Mm.
But no, there are some people who are like, "Oh, I just met you. Let's go," and or they'll be drunk and don't even remember anything and just go with people, and they can be unlucky today. Not only serial killers, but sex traffickers exist too.
Yeah. No, it's a fucking horrible world. And like I know a lot of people think that it probably doesn't happen as often as it does. It happens really fucking often, even in the US. It happens very often, like child fucking trafficking, adult trafficking, sex trafficking. It all happens often. Fucking what was his fucking name? Fucking Weinstein. Like even for us, like that's a huge fucking case of
Yeah.
like fucking, just like child prostitution and like fucking trafficking and shit like that. And then he magically kills himself, and it's like I personally
Mm.
like it's thrown around as a conspiracy theory. I don't think he killed himself. I'm pretty sure someone killed him.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, it's
'Cause-
political things.
yeah,
They like to shut people up, like shut them down, so nobody talks, and we are all living our lives and checking Twitter for Kim Kardashian.
oh my god.
There's something actually people on TikTok were talking about. I don't know, like I don't live in the US, but like
Mm.
that was alarming. A girl was saying like she will get like a lot of people in her comments too. They will get like your package is being delivered or something like that. Please click on this link so you can confirm it, or
Mm.
like your package is delayed. And then when they click on the link, nothing happens. And that girl was saying like, oh, it's actually trafficking attempt, because some of them even get their names like, oh, hey, blah blah blah, your package, and they just want to confirm your location. And I was like, oh my god, that is actually very smart.
So the thing, it doesn't happen often here, but it's definitely something that can happen. The thing about it is that like even like normally I would trust my email, but whenever here's the precautions that I take. Like let's say I open up my email right now. Fuck, I had a package coming in, but I don't know if it's like. But okay, here's the thing. If I scroll down a few, I won't show it on stream, but just so I can pull up the information. I did
Mm,
order something online on the 16th. Like,
okay.
oh, your Amazon order has shipped, and it'll tell me when it gets here. And I don't normally open those emails. I mean, you can, like, just opening the email's fine. It's just like, when, I don't think this shows person. Kinda does. But, okay, let's just say I open the Amazon email. And it says, oh, hi, your package will arrive on this, hit track package. For me, I don't hit track package with any of my emails, even though I know I ordered it from that specific site. I'll log out of my email, or I'll tab out, go to the actual site, and then just look at it from there to see if my package actually got here, or use the tracking
Ah,
thing.
oh, that's good. Yeah. But
At le-
also, these people were not emails, by the way. It was SMSs. That's
even
even worse.
even stuff like that, like I absolutely do not trust anything that goes straight to my phone. Like when they're like, "Oh, we're gonna call you," it's like, no, if you guys call me and tell me to do something, I'm gonna hang up and I'll call you right back. Like the thing is that that's how a lot of people
Mm,
get their information stolen, or even like hacked accounts, is that they
yes.
answer these things, like even just like a quick text message, "Hey, click this link, your package is here, just verify that it's at your phone front porch," or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, I
it's
know.
it's even small stuff like that. Like, no, you absolutely should not. Just go to the actual site, go to the actual thing that's verified, that you know where your information's safe.
Yeah, yeah, you have to. But then the sad part is most people that are online
Mm.
now, like the younger or even some older people, don't even know if a site is like secure or trusted. They just click on things, you know? Someone will send you like a Google with like three O's and they will not even notice because they just click without looking.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
don't understand where to look.
for the most part, that's why I don't like links. Like, if people, like, let's say, just the common scenario, when people send links on, like, through Twitch chat, when you're streaming and whatnot, if it's someone sending a link, if it's a person that I don't know and they send a link, I will not click it. Like, if they want me to look something up, I'll be like, okay, what is it called? I'll open Google myself and be like, okay, cat in, I don't know, cat in sock. And then I'll go and Google it myself, and I'll verify with them, as long as there's nothing weird that pops up
Yeah.
on
I do the same too. Like maybe it's a true crime in us. I don't know.
the
But
true crime in
one
us.
one other thing I learned from true crime is about the guy I told you, the Canadian who killed the guy.
Mm-hmm.
The people who were trying to find him because of the animal abuse were actually doing something. Uh, I don't remember what exactly because the case is old, but they did something where like from the picture that's so cute.
I know, right?
From the picture itself that he sent or the videos, they can actually know what type of camera he used,
Mm-hmm.
the date, and the location. Like you can
Yes.
actually, when someone sends you a picture, you can find out a lot of information. But how many people of us like sending pictures left and right to other people online? You know, like you're exposing yourself without knowing because some phones also geo tag
Yeah.
inside your phone. And what I do now, if I want to, let's say I only send my food. So let's say I want to send like an IRL food picture, right? My paranoid ass, I know it's not even like future proofs or whatever. But what I do is I will take the picture and then I will take a screenshot of that and I will send the screenshot after I crop it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's actually, that's a better way of doing things like that. Hold on, let me see if I just took a picture of a random letter that's on my desk, but I want to see
hmm
if I can pull up the information on my computer.
Yeah, I try to be as anonymous as I can because you never know what people can do when they know too much.
Yeah,
Don't they say like knowledge is fuck? I forgot the
knowledge is
word.
power, but ignorance is
Yeah,
bliss.
yeah. So, and some people take that like as like oh knowledge is learning stuff. No, even knowing too much about your life is also power that someone has over you.
Yeah, it depends on the context of everything as well.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It's like when people, oh god, they're saying, I haven't read any of the articles, but I heard yesterday that they're gonna shut down fucking TikTok today.
I heard that too. Yeah.
But like the thing is that like the U.S. government has a big problem. Oh, I guess it is. They're not shutting it down for you guys, but they're shutting it down here in the U.S. And they have a big problem. It's like, oh no, it's China taking our information. Like they're just reading text messages and like contacts and like stuff like that. Like they're just taking your information because you're giving it to them. And like for me, I'm just kind of like, you guys do that every single day. with more
Exactly.
application, but they abuse it. Like, the information that Facebook gets from you is fucking insane. Like, they can tap
Yep.
into your microphones, your cameras, and take still pictures and shit like that. Not to go on a whole fucking conspiracy rant, but it's true. How do you
I
think?
mean, it's not conspiracy. Have you watched the only Netflix show thing I will recommend, Social Dilemma? Watch that. It
I'll,
made me think. It just
I'll
came out.
I'll take a peek at it, but it for the most part it's true. Like, they like to think that these fucking big companies, like, oh, they just see what you're looking at. It's like, no, they record shit, and like they really have a profile on you, on what kind of person you are. And yeah,
Exactly.
I get, to an extent they're using it in like the quote unquote harmless way, in the sense that like they only do it to sell you things. But like,
Actually, it's not. They said though. Like in the Social Dilemma, it was people who worked as CEOs even for Facebook and Google and all of that. And they said maybe the initial one was not to hurt people, but it was always monetization.
yeah,
And now they changed it to the point where they want to change the way you think. Like they actually made an algorithms where they kind of force you to open your phone if they don't see you on the same time. Like they know where you use it. Like today if you use it 12, tomorrow you use it 12 p.m. and then the other day you don't use it, they will freak out and try to send you 2,000 things and like, by the way, did you know that this person did that? By the way, come back, come back. Oh, buy this. Um, Even Google itself uses like their search engine to manipulate. They said, for example, global warming was one of the things that they used as an example. If you search it in different regions of the world and how affected they are, like politically in it, you will see different results because they don't want you to know things.
yeah. I mean, I
And
wouldn't
then I was like, what the fuck? I was scared.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
Hmm.
I I still like to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's true that even when you think about things like Twitter, Twitter has a very specific algorithm, or even Facebook. Um, for example, and anyone at home can test this out. I wouldn't do it on your main account, but do it on like just an alternate account. Go look at fucking, like, just type in the search bar, fucking look up um just anything in specific. More at the moment, a lot of the things that are trending are like riots and, like, social disorder and stuff like that. If you search that up, anything and everything that Twitter will fucking send you is things on social disorder. And they'll make you
Exactly.
believe like the world is really fucking crumbling, when yes, even though there's a lot of things that are going wrong in America, it's really not as dark and gloomy as people would think. Or
Exactly.
or it does the opposite. It'll send you things that like are a little bit more positive, or it won't show you those things. It just
You will never
depends.
see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also another thing is like they were also talking about people who believe in flat Earth. Like
Mhm.
it's not that they are stupid; it's everything they see recommended to them or
It's
search is flat Earth stuff,
because
and then you don't see it, so
yeah,
we hate each other. It's like what?
they
That's
look up
not good, actually.
they look up theories on flat Earth for like, all of like 1 or 2 days, and then that's all they get recommended. Yeah, I
Every
understand it.
Yeah. And your ads will change according to that too. So the more violent stuff you look at, the more violent stuff that you get recommended, like guns and stuff like that, or like how to protect yourself, or mace, or like locks and cameras and
Yeah.
yeah. Once you leave the wholesome side, you always go dark.
Even I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Let me see. Let me look at the first ad that Facebook will hand me.
How to bleach bones. I don't know.
How to bleach bones. First one I see is an ad for Amazon Prime, or not. Was it? Is it? Yeah, it's Prime. Never mind. The second one is OtterBox. Um, Third ad is Banana Republic, which is weird because I don't really buy expensive clothing. But then again, I guess like that's a testament to how much Facebook knows about me, I usually don't log on to Facebook. Like, I log on, talk to my friends if they've messaged in our group chat. Besides that, I usually don't click on anything on Facebook
Yeah,
for the most part. But,
me neither. Actually. I stopped using Facebook.
well, I don't know if you're tired. We have been going at it for roughly about 3 hours and a half now.
What? Really?
Yes. This is the
God damn
magic.
it.
This is the magic that I can. I
I
don't
did
know.
not even feel it.
Yeah, it's
Didn't you say you had 3 to 4 hours time?
this is okay. This is why there was a podcast that was recorded with my voice acting friend Eric and Sierra.
Mm.
My goal was to keep that podcast under 2 hours, and it went for 6 hours.
Oh my goodness.
So for me, I'm just okay, and this is where you can start to see why I'm having trouble like editing these podcasts. Because like I have to go back and like try to cut out instances of like, dead air and like things that aren't as interesting, or stories that may not, just things that I can cut down and like minimize. Because I
Yeah,
don't, no one's gonna listen to a 6 hour podcast about like us
of
just like
course. Yeah, I understand.
fucking around. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I understand.
But
Good
anyway,
luck, man.
but as we, I mean, I don't know. I was gonna basically open up the last thing or the last portion of the talk, but I can make it short if you're running low on time.
mm, I'm okay. But like I can only speak until like 12 a.m. and I wanted to like at least like stream a little bit.
Oh, you're gonna stream today?
Yeah, a little
Okay,
bit.
okay, okay. I'll make this short then, and then we can have closing thoughts about the podcast. But anyway, so there's one thing that I mentioned a lot earlier about the guy that was sent to jail. Okay, so the story goes like this. There's a story of basically a teenage these high school lovers that eventually break up, and one day this guy is apparently so jealous and so heartbroken that he murders his ex-girlfriend and like buries her out in like a very infamous spot. But the thing is that they send him to jail because they have a lot of proof that he was the one that committed the crime, but it's based on a day that he can hardly remember because to him it was just a regular ordinary day. So the thing that I'm gonna bring up to you is like, last week on this same day, can you remember what you had for breakfast?
All I know is I did not because I don't. I wake up 4 p.m. every single day.
Can you
Other
remember
than that, nothing.
can you remember
No.
what you had for dinner?
Oh my god. What is actually today? Sunday.
Today's Sunday.
Last Sunday. Oh, wait, let me think. This is so hard. Let me think. I will actually try to take it seriously. I did not cook. Mm, I think I was supposed to cook on. Nope. Nope. I might. I am thinking chicken, but I don't think so because we bought meat. So maybe it would have been lambs. Like I don't know. I don't know. I actually do not have any idea what I ate on that day.
What did you eat a month and a half ago for dinner?
Nah.
Nah. I like how you just turned and looked at me and just like blankly, and you're like, nah,
I can't. I can't.
so that's kind of the predicament that this kid is basically in. So
Yeah, it was sad. Says case actually,
did you
because
live
nobody can do that. I listened to
You
it. Yeah,
listen to it.
I told you like it was familiar because I listened to it before,
Uh,
and it just frustrated me because the way they treated that case was unfair,
hmm.
and they also listened to one side of it.
Pretty. I mean, they definitely did listen to his side, but the thing is that what sticks out the most to me is that for him it was just like an ordinary day for the most part, so he doesn't recall it. If it's just another day like any other, like they're not gonna remember it. Like
Yeah,
I could tell you last Sunday, like okay, I can tell you last Sunday, I could not tell you what I ate. I can tell you that I was basically somewhat helping someone else learn how to play the bass. But that's something that like has already been happening. But if you told me that you know, I was accused of killing someone before heading over to this music lesson thing, I could not tell you what it was. Like
yeah.
okay, like I woke up and I made my way over to the place around noon and we played music up until 4 and then I came home and then
And they'll be like, "Oh, what were they wearing then? What color of what was the shirt? Was there something on the table?"
exactly. Like what, like you
It's
okay,
not fair.
so you were with this person, but at the same time this person is also telling you that they were with you when you killed them and you killed their body, or you killed their body. You killed some other person and they're now putting the blame on you. It's like I can't remember. I do this every single Sunday. I mean,
Yeah,
recently for the last 2 months, it's like if anyone pinned a murder on me at that point, and they were the only person that had the information, I couldn't tell you. It's like any other Sunday. I d-
yeah.
like
I,
I wore a black shirt and wore shoes and we had lunch and that's pretty much it. It's like okay,
that's
well,
why I was saying like one side of the story because they just immediately believed the other guy. It's like, oh yeah, we were together, we killed together, and I buried the person, and I did this, and it's like, okay, no proof, no evidence, just like someone's word.
yeah, it's just his word. And like I can understand why they believed him because he did bring them to the car and like the exact location of where that, the high school girl's car was, but at the same time it's like it seems oddly fucking suspicious that he would know where that car is.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it's not like this guy's story, like the version that he told. He's basically confirming that his friend killed his ex-girlfriend and whatnot. And the thing
Mm.
was is that like when he told the story, there's a lot of things that don't line up because for the most part, they believed that guy's story and how it basically connected with cell phone towers and like which your cell phone pings certain towers depending on what location you're in.
Yeah.
And the thing was is that in his story, he got a lot of those things wrong. Like they only lined up the things that were relevant, but when you look at the
Mhm.
broader picture, like a lot of the things are wrong.
Yeah, they were selective with the evidences.
Yeah.
And we can always be selective like that and make something make sense or like take our side, right? But
Hmm.
you need to think about every side as a investigator.
Yeah.
Maybe even someone else was involved and this guy was like maybe taken with him, like as or as a revenge when you hate someone so much it's like I'm going down, let me take him with me.
Yeah. Exactly. What? I don't
It was
know.
sad. The ending of that podcast just made me sad, like there's no ending, it's just
No.
sadness. I don't want to be in his. That's why my mom, one thing that she taught me was don't ever like hold things to like not it's not related, but like when someone says like hold my purse, I'm going to the bathroom, or like hey, can I take your car for a quick grocery shopping, or like can I use your phone? Like I always say no because you never know what's in their bag. Maybe they have a gun and they gave it to you. Or maybe they will go kill someone with your car and then come back and you never know,
For like people that I don't know as well, that's something that I wouldn't really do. But like if it's my best friend, like let me just give you a ride. Like I'll be the one driving, and whatever you
Yeah, I'll be
do,
the
then
one driving is good, but like giving the keys and then they disappear with the car, come back. They might do something really wrong, you know? Like a lot of people when I see that, like it's not like a best friend is already a family, right? But
yeah.
like I see people who just met and then they do that, or like I met like some girls who like we in a gathering and then they give me their handbag. It's like, oh, hold this for me. Why would I do that? Maybe she will accuse me I stole it. You never know.
Oh my god.
I just met you. Why would I even? Why do you trust me with your bag?
Yeah, no, no. I think a lot of people are a little bit too quick to trust
I hate
stuff
that.
like
It
that.
hurts me. I'm scared for them, you know? That's why I try to warn them, but it's like, oh yeah, stop being negative, Nancy. I'm like, no, you just don't go meet someone and go with them to the. Like, one of my friends
Mm.
told me something, and that actually, like, turned all the alarms in my head, right? Like, this friend wanted to meet people online, Tinder, I think. And
Okay.
then that person was like, I'm a fisher. How about for the first time, for the first date, you come with me fishing. So fishing is not in the city, right? You have to go so far away in the woods
Yeah, it's
on a
not.
boat. No, I don't care if I'm negative Nancy. I'm not going. No.
It's not
And they were
something you
like, "Oh,
do.
we will be three girls." Yeah, three girls against how many guys? We don't know. That's how people can like lure people in. Now, the only place you can actually commit the perfect crime is in the woods. We don't have cameras. We don't have a lot of shit in there. If you
Ye-
take yourself there, you know.
I don't think it. I mean, you would have to be extremely cautious because the one thing that I would, not that I've thought about this, but the one thing that I'd be super cautious about is footprints, like shoes.
Oh, wear bigger shoes, easy, and you stuff them. You know, you stuff the inner of the
Mm.
shoe with a lot of stuff, and it will fit your foot, but it's bigger size.
Wear clown shoes out in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. Like if you wear like I don't know size 40, 41 or 42, right? You just get like a 45, you stuff like a lot of socks around
Mm.
and your other shoe and it will fit.
It's possible, but
That's when you're very cautious and you're actually like out to kill, you know? Like you think about it. Or you wear stuff that can hide your hair.
yeah,
Um
wear a wig, wear contacts. But even
yeah.
then, it's a lot of things to go through to like even just kill someone or
But it's
even
still
bury a
possible.
body. It's possible. The possibilities are endless. Only your imagination can help you with this.
Yeah, but the
Don't
thing is, you
don't kill
can't go too
people.
far with it though. You can't go too far, like old serial killers with like 30 bodies, and you can't do that anymore. But you can get away with one easily.
Yeah, if you kill one person, it's okay. We can still do a podcast episode. But if you kill two people, it's over. I can't have you as a guest.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna tell you anymore. I'm gonna hide my trophies, you know, my heads.
Yeah. But Yuna, I feel like I gave you a fairly good idea with one of the questions that I gave to you in that little set. Have you ever thought about doing a murder mystery kind of a thing in VR chat with your
Actually, never thought about it. But okay, what? How do you think that can work?
it would okay, so literally you would never tell people this, but in a way you would kind of frame it kind of like Clue. Remember when you guys were playing that one game in VR chat where there's like
The
an
stabby stab.
imposter? Yeah, the stabby stab.
Yeah.
It would be kind of like that, but it would have to be longer and drawn out, and the people either co-streaming with you or just playing this game with you would also have like certain lines that they would have to, speak. Obviously, not everything is going to be like
Mm.
100% like pre-written and like it's not gonna be a script,
Yeah,
but
yeah. But they have like a backstory ish.
they have a backstory ish, and they can talk normally, but at the same time, there are certain lines that they're just gonna have to say. Like they would have to, let's say it's you and seven other people, and one person randomly gets murdered in, in a house.
Mhm.
So at that time, you could have one person that was broken away from the group to seem very suspicious, one person that was unaccounted for at some point that's not suspicious, and another person that can, that's just very generally a good liar. Kind of like the game. Have you ever played the game Clue?
Necrosis, you mean? Oh,
No,
when are we
no,
gonna
no, no,
play?
not me. No, I have to break the stigma of me being a sociopath. I can't playing Among Us anymore. I'm not gonna stream it.
I
And, uh,
mean, you were a good liar. You did not even lie. Actually, from what I've seen, you were just asking like counter questions. Yeah, I did not see that person. I don't know. Where did you find the body? You only fucked up once. You said which one? That's the only time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, okay, that maybe I was getting ahead of myself, but like, because the thing I didn't see it as like a problem because he said which one, or I said which one, because like I can clearly see who's dead, and they can see that same information.
Mm,
Like obviously, you can look at the list. It's like when a body's reported, unless it's an emergency meeting. If it's an emergency meeting, it's the avatar of the person pushing the emergency meeting button. But when someone reports a body, it'll show you the body that's being reported.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why when, the yellow one popped up, I was like, I know I killed Mango. So I was just kind of like, okay, well, like, which body is it? Because I can see another person that's clearly dead, like right there. Like they were alive just a second ago. So, but you're right. I technically didn't lie. I didn't ever lie, and that's maybe what makes me such a very dangerous quote unquote liar. Is that I only really tell the truth, and maybe manipulate the truth that suits my narrative. I won't say
Mm,
anything if it's against me, but I'll tell you what I experienced. Like the whole Naru thing. That later half of the game, Naru was with me, and I didn't kill her for that specific reason. Because I knew she was with me. I needed to have someone to confirm that. If I had no
yeah.
one to confirm that, then I was dead.
Yeah, they would have. But you convinced her later by putting the blame on him, on the other koala guy,
Mm.
by saying like, "We did not see you. I saw her. If I wanted to kill her, like, you know what I mean? Like, she did not kill me. Like, you gave her the sense of like, how do you say that? That you trusted her. She can't break the trust of someone that trusted her.
Yeah.
You know. So that is where the manipulative was in. But
The manipulation was more so in me when I was talking to Koala, and I was like, well, maybe Naru didn't kill me, so she had an alibi. And I feel like he should have caught on to that, because that's not something that you would say. You shouldn't say to anyone, because then that makes you suspicious if you frame it the wrong way. But I did say
yeah.
to Koala, maybe she didn't kill me because she needs an alibi. But that's exactly why I didn't kill her, because I needed an alibi.
Exactly. Yeah. You
Yeah.
just sort of, like shifted the blame.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
there
god.
was no lies, and that's why maybe they were like, "Oh my god," you were not like, "I swear I did not kill anyone. I swear I did not kill." Like,
No.
like so some people do. You were just like calm about it, and they were freaking out. It was so fun to watch.
I mean, that's the other thing too. Koala had me on the ropes when he was asking me about the tasks. Because I didn't really know the map. I know somewhat the tasks that I am supposed to complete. But if he kept pressing that, I probably would not have been able to pull that off.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you actually give me a very good idea about that, and thank you so much. I
Yeah.
will
Just
look
think about it.
into it. I wanted to make actually YouTube videos, and that can be a good YouTube video. I don't know about stream, It might
Mm,
be like a lot of times where people are lounging and not doing stuff, but
yeah.
as like a stream, it can be like a movie kind of thing, you know, like who did that? And then you hear like a gunshot somewhere, like in the distance, or someone dies. It's like, oh no, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Or hey, you could even like, I mean, you could do something as simple as this, like do a little, like maybe a murder mystery kind of, maybe not a, yeah, you could even do like a podcast of just like murder mysteries that people, maybe things that of people that aren't as popular. Because I know obviously the Golden State Killer gets covered a lot, Zodiac
Mm-hmm.
Killer, Jeffrey Dahmer, stuff like that, but or even just like local stories of missing persons files.
I kind of had an idea actually, but it was too morbid. Okay, my idea was a game,
Okay.
but then this type of thing doesn't go well with games. So I was thinking, people in chat always are like, "Oh, that's just one in a million kind of crime, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So since I know a lot of crimes, I was like, "Let's play a game of Would you die in a certain situation?" Like I will present, for example, one type, like a guy came to you and he was really injured and you tried to help him by putting a book in his car. Would you die? Like if they don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they have to vote and then see if it's the truth, and then they can unlock the true, like the real crime. So nope, because Ted Bundy killed people that way.
True, true. Oh, also about the murder mystery thing. Um, what I would have them do if they're actually they're mostly active. Um, you shouldn't be the one to make the decisions. I would just channel Twitch chat through you. So you
Ah,
would go, you would, guide them through based on what they decide to do. Oh, hey, this uh who's usually streaming? Not streaming with you. I think
lovely.
Shy or Lovely. Let's say Lovely sus. Lovely super sus. Can we interrogate her? And then you go over it, but you have those fixed lines like, oh, these are a couple of lines that they're supposed to say, and they can like sort of like pick and choose, kind of like in a
Point and
way,
click games.
kind of like point and click game, kind of like Bandersnatch if you did that whole
No,
thing when Black
no.
Mirror was out. Okay. But yeah,
I was thinking about like Telltale games, you know, ABC.
kind of like that. Um, but like have them be obviously there's gonna have to be like a few different endings that they could sort of go through. Guess that's more of a Telltale game, huh?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Never mind.
And then
I
it'll
I'm
be like the viewer will remember, you know, like unlocked.
oh my god. That or you could be the one that you know you could be the one to guide them, but at the same time you can't let Twitch chat like not interfere, but like influence your decisions at that.
Hmm.
But I mean the only difference is that if you're the one taking the role or the dominant role, you're gonna be the Dahmer of the
No.
murder mystery. Then you have to be the one that's clueless about the outcome.
I was actually thinking I will be the camera, you know, like point of view of chat, like
Yeah,
walking into a crime, and then I'm just like walking around and asking chats questions.
yeah,
So I'm not a player. I can't be killed or
yeah,
kill. That's
yeah,
actually a great idea you gave me, because I'm burning out on VR chat, but actually that can make me go back to it because I love these type of things, you know.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. If you ever need help like coming up with ideas or just like small things like that, I can kind of help. I have some ideas behind it. It's something that
Ooh.
I don't know. When I was like researching, not research, but when I was coming up with the original set of questions, because this isn't the first time I'd asked you to do a podcast. This was the second time, because the first time I was trying to go harder on the podcast stuff, but then I don't know, work kind of kicked up and kind of like jumbled up a lot of my actual plans.
Yeah.
But now I'm just kind of like I don't know, I'm still working a lot, but I want to focus on the podcast as well.
I understand.
Yeah. But yeah.
Mr. Voice doing a podcast. That's actually good. You have to put it on podcasts, like or whatever you listen to. I listen to podcasts, so like whatever app podcasts go on.
Hmm. I I want to. I'm not hesitant. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to actually put it. Because right now, at the moment, like, I'd have to upload it through Anchor FM. And then from Anchor FM, like, I could have them send it to, like, the Apple Podcasts and Spotify and a couple of other things.
Ah,
But at the same time, it's like, if I do it like that, then I'd have to, like, have a manual ad that they add on to it. And I don't know. It's like
okay.
if I'm not the one like monetizing it or in control of the ad, I'm not super into it. But
Yeah,
at the same
yeah.
time, like I just want to get it out there sometimes. Like, it's gonna I don't know what this podcast is. Or even if it is a podcast. Right now it's more like a podcast, but I'm leaning on talk show if anything.
Mm.
Or to name it more of a talk show than a podcast. But I don't know.
I mean, YouTube can work a lot because they say like YouTube is growing and 3 billion people use it daily.
Yeah. And that's
Now a lot of people use the podcast.
it's true. Um, Not to say that I don't want this on audio form, because like that's the main drawback of YouTube is that you can't really do like simple audio format. You can listen to it on YouTube, but at the same time, it's like it's still a video that needs to be played in the background. Um,
Exactly. Yeah, you can just like turn off the screen and then put it in your pocket. You always have it like.
exactly. I don't know. I'm still gonna try and set it up via Spotify and Anchor FM, but I think I need to do a little bit more research at the same time.
Understandable.
Yes.
But I'm happy you found something you like. It's really good.
Oh yeah. I I don't know. I'm trying to be a little bit more transparent with everyone in the community. But like that's the thing, and I'll say that to you as well. Like I want to go hard with this podcast, and I want to, even if I don't get like a super huge audience behind it, like what I bring is something that I want it to be memorable. Like currently I'm still trying to find a porn star that'll do a podcast with me, and I don't know how you feel about that, but when I told everyone in the community, they're like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean you're gonna get a porn star?"
I mean, we only have like how do you say that assumption about them,
Yeah,
but nobody actually knows how their day to day life is. I want to know how they date other people. When do they tell them? What do they do when people ask them about like their profession? Do they actually say that, or do they like say other jobs? Like a lot of things to know about people and their professions because we don't know anything.
yeah,
So that's actually a good idea.
yeah, and I'd want them to be known and seen as like more like people because they are people.
They
They,
are
for the
people,
most part, I'm sure they live relatively normal lives.
but they have maybe struggles that we don't know about.
Yeah,
It's nice to see.
so yeah, I think that's one of the goals of the podcast. But
And their funny encounters also.
yeah.
How many growers they have seen.
I was like, wait, what are you talking about, growers? I was like, God damn it. Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
No, I understood it. I get it now, Yuna. I see what you're doing. Um,
hey, you did the Dahmer thing on me, okay? That's a win-win. That's
okay.
like we're even now.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. The last thing I gotta ask is, because I mean, I'm still trying to look for a porn star. I'm also looking for well, I mean, I guess this is more of a personal question. Because I'm trying to see if you know anyone that's successfully ran an OnlyFans. Like,
mm,
at least for half a year to a year.
no.
No? Okay. Well, I still have a lot of questions. I need to find. I had one. I had one, and I sent her an email of the schedule, and like it looked like we were starting to lock something down. But I think she may have watched some of the podcast videos, and I don't think that was for her.
Mm.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm that weird. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm weird for like wanting to do something like this.
Maybe they thought about like I don't know, like H3 type of podcast. Too many.
Oh, just like the fun. Well, I mean, I was being transparent enough because like I did mention that like my goal was to like kind of bridge the gap between like viewer to content creator.
Yeah.
Even if the content is on like places like OnlyFans, because like that's where it would step up. I'd be like an OnlyFans
Hmm.
thing, a lewd photos thing, and then I could talk with like a porn star or something like that, just to make people aware that they're just regular people. They're
I would say tweet about it because there are a lot of people on Twitter that would love to do that.
I did, and I got a few recommendations. Some of them haven't really done OnlyFans for long, and they still don't have a concrete answer as to what they're doing. And the other ones are either content creators that are way too big in the sense that like they don't really want to talk to small fry like me, like a small fish in the pond.
Eh, yeah, I know.
And I had this other chick, like I thought I thought things were going relatively well. My emails were professional. Maybe I should have given more information. I don't know if that may have weirded her out. And if she comes back and like emails me, I'm down. Like I'm not gonna say her name, but I'm like, hey, I'm just saying, if you hear this, I'm still down to do the podcast. I just have questions. And it's not gonna be like it's not gonna be something super weird, but like I just wanna know interactions. Um
Yeah.
but
Maybe
besides that,
they're also busy. It can be also. A lot of people get
yeah.
busy out of nowhere. Like especially now, the world is kind of weird.
Yeah, and I don't blame them for that. There's a couple that I could ask, but they because they live in the Netherlands, it's kind of hard to get them like around this time. I mean, I got
Mm.
you around this time, which is cool. But at the same time, if they usually stream either at night, they'd be starting around this time, and usually I'm at work around this time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's where things get a
Oh
little
my
bit
god,
difficult.
time zones.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm a hit her up, see if she wants to. I'll finesse something. I'll try to fucking squeeze in the morning if I have to.
Yeah. Try it again.
But Yuna, even though we didn't have an introduction, onesie Yuna guys, go fucking like, follow, and subscribe. I mean, I'm obviously gonna pre-record a better outro and intro to this. Don't worry, Yuna.
Understandable. But thank you for having me. It was really fun. Because
Yeah.
I don't have anyone to talk about these weird stuff with.
No, I mean,
Everyone else is weirded out by me.
I don't think it's weird. Why would they? Well, I guess it's just stuff that people normally don't look up, I guess.
Yeah. Not
But
even my family. Nobody talks about these stuff. They always like decide to ignore it.
mhm.
Just never think about it.
I think I don't know. I think ignoring stuff like this, just ignoring anything in general, it's just information. Do what you want with it, or just forget about it. But like, don't ignore someone. Don't ignore
Yeah.
things that could potentially happen. I think it's
Yeah, exactly.
dangerous.
If you know, then you will know, like, but you might even not need it, but when you need it, if you need it, then you know it.
Yeah,
For me, that's better than not knowing anything and just deciding to ignore life.
exactly. All right, Yuna, onesie Yuna. I yeah. Are you happy with the direction that this went?
I'm happy actually, and I didn't even know like time went so fast. It's
Yeah.
almost like midnight.
I'm so sorry, Yuna.
No, it actually went so fast. I did not even feel it. I was thinking it's an hour or two max.
No, no.
What did you do, you magician?
You
It's the
magi-
voice. I'm sure it's the voice.
It's the sociopath in me. I like to make people. I like to convince people that
You brainwashed me. Help! I'm blinking.
I'm
I'm
bull-
blinking, guys. Help me! Save me!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Are you still gonna be streaming?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna eat. No, I'm having actually toothache, so I'm thinking it's already like midnight and
Mm,
most people slept. So I will just like compensate tomorrow
okay.
with a bit longer stream.
Alright. Well, I'll try to catch it if you're around. Um, but yeah, no. You ever want to come back and talk more about serial killers and stuff like that? I'm probably still gonna be listening to serial killer podcasts for a couple.
Ooh.
So I might
Send
have
them my
more.
way.
I'll see, cause I listened to one that you recommended. What was it? Sword and
Sword and
Scale.
scale.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's good.
it's good. Like at first, I thought the person was being a little bit too judgmental, but then like he would
Yeah.
backtrack and like really just obviously he'd explain why he's being judgmental, and like the way he framed it, like it makes sense. But no, that was really good. I didn't listen to
Also, I'm sending you a new one.
a new
Just because.
podcast.
Yeah.
Ooh, type it in Discord.
It's called The Dating Game Killer. It's about Rodney Alcala.
Oh, I've heard about this, but I haven't actually like looked into it.
It's a good case, actually. It's one of the cases that I always remember because he's still alive and he's trying to be his own lawyer because he learned how to become one in prison.
I I don't know. I don't know about that.
He's stupid, but
Yeah, he's
yeah, the case is like the good thing about the case is they actually put him on national TV to date, like to be a bachelor,
mm-hmm.
while never even doing a background check on him, while he was actively killing people at the same. So
Yeah.
you can see his face when he was like, "Oh my god, yeah, it's so scary."
Well, I'll take a look at it. But
And anything you find, just send them my way.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know if there's anything that we can sit down and have an interesting serial killer talk about.
Yes,
Oh
and
my.
I'm still down for the ranking game. Ranking from like I would kill them to I would call the police on them. You know?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, okay. I'll yeah, I'll think more so about that.
The serial
Ooh,
killer tier list. Ooh.
I would have to. Yeah, this might be something that I'd show you pictures of them, and then you do 1 through 10, and
Yeah,
then
it's
we'll
like no.
actually.
There's this website. Have you seen the website where like you can put them on?
Oh, the tier lists. Oh, you want to do a
Yeah,
tier list?
yeah.
Oh my god.
From like I would kill to maybe. No, not maybe, but I will call the police is like the F tier,
Oh.
and the S tier is like they will never see the light.
Oh my
They
god.
dead. As soon as I see them, they're gone.
Oh my god. Oh, I
I
thought
am
these were
Dexter,
serial
motherfucker.
killers. I was like, dude, I don't think Luigi's a serial killer.
No, no, no. I'm just sending you a picture of the program or website.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh man. Okay. I'll see what I can. Wait, do you have one set up or no?
No, no, no. I just thought about it.
I think I think Jeffrey's gonna be S tier for creativeness.
We will see.
I
Maybe you're S tier. Haha.
no, I'm convincing, but Jeffrey definitely lined those people up. He made like human sculptures at that point.
He has a shrine of his dead bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Jeffrey Dahmer is always top because I don't want to see him alive like ever.
Mm-mm.
But let's just say Zodiac, for example. I would just call the police. Hey,
Yeah.
a guy running with a pistol. Hey.
Yeah, no, cuz he all he did was kill people. I mean, it's still a severe crime, but like he just shot them. Jeffrey
I mean,
Dahmer was
within killers, like within killers of killers,
yeah.
then Zodiac is not that intimidating.
No. But Jeffrey Dahmer is really up there.
I feel like he will sit up there alone with the S tier.
I I think so.
Really?
What? Sitting up alone?
I don't think there are a lot of scumbags though. Like the Toy Box Killer. You have to know about it.
I'll look
type
him
it
up. If there's a
so you
podcast,
don't
send it
forget.
to me.
I don't think so. I just watched YouTube. Oh, speaking of these things, true crime. If you have like short time,
Uh-huh.
she does makeup, but I just listen to the whatever she has to say. Have you ever seen Bailey Sarian? She mixes makeup and true crime.
I don't think so. But
I'll send you her thingy. Wait.
yeah,
I actually listened to her. She has a whole 1 hour on Jeffrey Dahmer. Too. Bailey Sarian. So I only like when I clean the house or something like that. I always play her in the background and listen to everything she has. So the Toy Box Killer is also one of her videos. She doesn't show pictures, but she talks about them and describes.
ooh. Is
A
that okay to
tier
tweet out?
list. Yeah, of course. I mean
Okay.
that is wholesome. What the fuck?
True. Murders are wholesome. You
No,
heard it
we
here
are
first.
wholesome about it. We are wholesome about it. We're not like enjoying it, you know? We're not like, ooh, murder.
What are you talking about? I showed you all of the Jeffrey Dahmer pictures, and you were like, yeah, that one's cool. Okay, I won't play this game. I won't play this game, Yuna.
Wait.
I'll stop right there. You're gonna tweet out? This guy's making me seem like a serial killer. But I didn't actually know about Bailey Sarian.
Hmm?
I didn't actually know about Bailey Sarian.
I like her channel. Look at my 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 response.
Oh my god. That's gonna be a good one to fucking to come up with.
That would be a clickbait where people get angry about. Where they think like maybe idolizing tier list.
Nah. I mean, I
Like when you
hope
say
they
like
don't, but
I hope they don't. But some people are very sensitive and then it just becomes like a hate list.
if there's one thing that I've been learning, I guess we didn't really talk about too much about stream stuff, but it's like any
Oh
press is
true.
good press.
I mean, no, I don't think so. Why? Because there was like this one girl recently,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 3 days ago. You know, like the VTubers, like the virtual YouTubers. They were like they were Japanese first, right? So the Japanese ones when the like 2 3 years ago when they used to play GTA 5,
Mm-hmm.
they said like the N word like in a singing way, and
Okay.
people were like, "Ooh, funny, kawaii," right? And then this American VTuber that just like started like streaming soon, around this year, did it a few days ago, and people blew up on her. A lot of people blocked her. A lot of people canceled her. And she was just like, "Oh no, I'm just imitating the Japanese." And people are like, "No, you're American. You speak English. You can't do that." And then cancel culture is getting super fast now. Even if you try to be controversial, it can backfire. You know?
No, or sorry. I don't mean like it's a good thing to be controversial. I mean like at least like in from a marketing perspective, people talk about you. The
Yeah,
worst
it used to be like that. Yeah. But then if they block you or cancel you, then it's not worth it anymore. You know? That's what
no,
I'm saying.
worst case scenario would be them not saying anything and then blocking you and that's it. Because then at that
Oh,
point they're not talking about you. They're just flat out ignoring you. And
zero
like
publicity.
yeah, so in the publicity game, like if they're talking about you, it's I mean obviously what you're doing is not good, but at least you're being talked about. But if you're just flat out
Um,
getting ignored, then
mm,
it's your
I mean, I
marketing is
understand.
it's bad. I mean think about people like Logan Paul. People
Ugh, yeah.
hate Logan Paul.
They hate watch him.
But people still talk about Logan Paul because he at least
Yeah.
Obviously, what he did is not good, and I
Or
don't
even
condone
worse,
it.
Onision. That is
Oh
one
my,
like that is hated
don't
by the whole world.
don't even get me started on that. But that's the thing, is that's the power of just like shitty things
Bad
that people
publicity.
do and bad publicity, is that people still talk about him and people remember him. People will always, no, not always, but like people will remember him to an extent.
They even give him money. Like if he has like a OnlyFans, they are buying
Yeah,
it.
they still give him
He's
money. I was like, dude,
benefiting.
this guy's a psychopath.
Yeah. Oh, actually, about Onision, do
Hmm.
you actually think he about like if you go deeper into his stories, like
Uh-huh.
he gives me a Dahmer vibe, but not like the killer vibe, but the backstory vibe. Like he had a good life. He went to the army. He was like having a bad time. He was sent back, or like I don't know the correct word for it, but he couldn't like be there for a long time. And
Mm.
then he was like drinking a lot for a while, and then he just became like this guy now. You know, he's making himself a cult. And I'm like, he can be a
Maybe.
psychopath that can kill if he wants.
Well, not anymore because he's too famous now.
Mm.
So, especially in his area, people would know that that is maybe obviously. I don't think they call him Onision, but they would definitely know him by name. So if they saw him at any point anywhere else, like, oh yeah, Onision brought a hitchhiker home the other night, and then the hitchhiker turned up missing 2 weeks later. It's already sort of. I would assume that it's sort of like burned into their minds because I'm
Maybe
sure
he's a lazy killer.
he's a
Like
lazy
what?
killer.
Yeah,
Oh
he
no.
calls them to be like in their house, and then when people forget about that person being in the basement, then he does it. You know.
Maybe killer wouldn't be the greatest thing for him right now, but you know what he could do successfully?
I mean, yeah. Allegedly, sorry, I did not mean to. Don't cancel me. But what I meant
No,
is
no, no,
like,
no.
if he was a killer, if he was a
If
killer,
he was,
he
yeah,
would
yeah,
not be an active seeking killer. He will be one that gets like one of his fans.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
easy to have a platform as a serial killer, by the way.
Oh yeah,
It's like
but
having a freezer full of people. You know, like just wait, you just pull one out, you put them to the side, and then cook them tomorrow. Like they will
yeah,
come to you if you DM them and be like, "Oh, this is a secret. Please don't tell anyone. Where do you live?"
yeah. I have a small platform now, and my freezer's already full.
Oh fuck! Look at that. Teach me your way, senpai.
Teach me your. Oh no. But no, again, well, yeah, obviously this is a make believe scenario. But I don't think he could do the serial killer thing, but he could probably pull off like the Charles Manson kind of thing, like the cult leader
I
kind
think
of
he's
thing.
doing it already.
You think so?
I mean, he tried, but they
Oh,
are
that's
like
yeah,
backfiring on him.
that's true. That's true.
If he wants to kill someone
I'm
he hates,
I'm
he can
sure
send
he
people after.
could.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of creepy to think about too.
Yeah, because the way he was doing things and like forcing people to tattoo things to their bodies or like locking them in the basement, he's already having people who let him do
Yeah,
that to them. But if he couldn't have that, you don't know how far he could have went.
yeah,
Which is like maybe because he has a platform, things are easier. But if he did not have that, he would have done it actively like Dahmer did. Other people. Imagine now Dahmer in 2020 being famous and cute looking on the internet. Ew,
mm,
ew.
mm, mm,
Oh my god. No. People
no,
will go to him themselves. Not to kill or die, of course, but they will actually like he will not even have to leave his house to have victims. You know, that's the scariest part. Imagine Ted Bundy with social media. Like you saw them without social media, people were like fangirling outside of like the courthouse, right?
yeah,
Knowing far too well they were killers.
hmm
If
no,
these women lived today, ooh, yikes.
yikes, yikes indeed.
Speaking of that, actually, like I think Charles Manson would have been also more successful online than he did then, as he was very smart and manipulative, and he could convince people. Um, Having his
I
own cult would have been easy.
I don't know, because the thing about Charles Manson, for me at least, is that I feel like he preyed mostly on the ignorant. Oh, actually, no. Thinking about America right now. Fuck. Fuck.
I told you, easy. He would
Okay.
have a million at least.
I take that back. Because I was thinking, it's like, if there wasn't the internet, then yeah, I could see that. But I was like, I don't actually know. I'm thinking
It's
about
even
Florida
worse.
right now, and I'm just kind of
It's
like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, it's worse. Sorry. It's so bad now.
I'm
We
sh-
already have fans of them when they're dead. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm just afraid like someone will do something like that online one day and get away with it. Not killing, but like mentally manipulating and making cult.
I mean, when you think, I mean, this is an older streamer. When you think of people like Athene, Athene's pretty much already done that.
I
Is
never
he?
heard of that.
Athene is a. You ever played League of Legends?
A couple of times, yeah.
Okay, then you wouldn't. I don't think you'd know any of the references. There's a. He is one of the reasons why there's an item in the game called Athene's Unholy Grail. It's named after him because they were holding a contest, but I guess it's not super relevant. But the thing is that he basically has a compound in God knows where. I forget exactly where, but like people that were like fans of him, like they went and lived in this compound with him, and like he has a lot of followers that just like blindly sort of do what they say or what he says, pretty much.
Wow.
Um, I mean, it's basically mostly like a sex cult from what I've heard. But at the same
Mm.
time, like I can't confirm nor deny any of the things that I'm basically saying right now. So, um, but I don't
So it
know.
happens, huh?
It's already sort of happened. Obviously, he doesn't have these people kill anyone.
But the thing is, if you have that power over someone
Yeah,
and they can like kill on command for you, you already done it.
yeah,
Like because it's only a matter of choice, right?
mm,
Like people to blindly follow someone like that is kind of scary to me. Like, how mindless can you be? You know?
I
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know. I can't really say much about it because it's just so out of my thought process that I wouldn't do things like that. But I know people in the world would do things like that. So it's just kind
Mm-hmm.
of, I don't know. I guess it's just kind of sad, my opinion,
Yeah. And dangerous.
and dangerous. I agree.
Imagine having problems with that person and 10,000 people will be sent after you, you know? Like, that's also like, that's why I'm trying to keep to myself most of the time because you never know who has big influence, not like in viewership, but like in people's life
Hmm.
where someone cannot live without them and they can hurt for them.
Yeah.